Hello everyone, welcome back to Premier League Dad. My name is Key. We are live again for a big Europa League Semi-Final night at Villa Park. Unai Emery, the UEFA Cup / Europa League master, many would say, facing Vítor Pereira's Nottingham Forest, who hold a 1-0 lead from the first leg back at the City Ground. I would say it was a controversial 1-0 lead that Forest had, but it really wasn't, was it? It was the most obvious, blatant handball you're ever likely to see. There's been a lot of discussions about the handball rule over the last week, and one of them being just last night in the Bayern Munich against PSG game. Was it a handball for João Neves? And honestly, I just don't really know anymore. I don't think any of us really know anymore what a handball is and what it isn't. Apparently with that one specifically, there is a rule baked in there somewhere that if your teammate hits the ball, then it's not a handball. But last week anyway, the Luca Dean handball last week for Villa was pretty much cut and dry. Even Villa fans were saying, yeah, it's pretty much a handball, I've got to be honest with you. That wasn't my best Brummie accent. But anyway, hopefully you're all doing well. How are you all doing today? How are you all? How's your day going? How's your day going, more importantly? We've got 27 minutes precisely to kick off. Shell, lovely to see you. Jellyfish, how's it going? Finners, Matty, Oxford fan, 3 stars in. There you go. Evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. I'm not casting a vote in the poll, Key. Don't want to tempt fate. I think you're okay. I'm going to call it for you, mate. I think you're okay tonight. I think Forest are going through. I'm rooting for you, buddy. And listen, don't get me wrong. I think Villa can absolutely do it, but, you know, I won't be surprised if Villa do it, but I still think it's going to be a Forest win overall. Might well be that it goes to extra time and penalties. What else are we missing tonight? We've got the halftime quiz. We may even have time for a pre-match quiz, as always. Let me catch up with the TikTok chat. Let me catch up with the TikTokers. Thank you very much, Shell. Lovely to see you, as always. Tomorrow we've got the playoffs, yes. We're doing the playoffs tomorrow. Hull City against Millwall at Stadium MK. First leg, that one. Big opportunity for Millwall to get something to take back to the den. Yes, of course, we will be keeping an eye out on the other games tonight, not just Freiburg and Braga in the Europa League, but the Conference League. We'll see how Palace are getting on against Shakhtar. They're pretty comfortable. They look like they're through. And obviously Strasbourg, Rayo Vallecano is the other one. Stay Gold. Finally got a day off after 2 weeks. Hope everyone's doing good. Good to see you. Day off after 2 weeks. You're a grafter. Love to see that. B. McCarran up the Villa. Good to see you, mate. Long time no see. 2-1 Forest, says Finners Matty. Key saying good evening, Key. The best football streamer that's ever lived. Not my words, everyone. The words of Keith Scott. McGinn to send us to the final, says B. McGinn. All right, fair enough, mate. I'll take that. As long as there's goals tonight, I think that's my biggest concern. Hey, why am I knocking everything over? I just want to see goals tonight because it was a bit of a dull and dour first leg, and I'm hoping that Villa come out straight out the traps. They've been really poor. Villa have lost their last 3 games, by the way. Last three games, all defeats for Villa. 3-star, how's Mayday being, Key? I've only just got off the throne. Mayday? Is that what today is? Today Mayday? No, it's not. Is it actually? The 7th of May, is that Mayday? I don't know when Mayday is. I thought Mayday was is it not on Monday? I don't know. My only understanding of Mayday is the actual distress signal, which is French, isn't it? Mayday, help me, Mayday, which is French. I don't know anything about Mayday, as in the celebration. Right. Ian, how's it going? Need to lose to get Champions League. Who? Villa? What do you think of the scenario that we could go into the last day of the season where Brentford need to lose to get Champions League? Eh? How's that? Explain that one to me. I'm not sure about that one, Ian. There's a scenario where Brentford need to lose to get Champions League football on the final day against us. If so, that's fascinating. Harry, regardless of Arsenal, if they win the Champions League, I understand the frustration for everyone. 3 English clubs win Europe. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, there's going to be 3 English clubs winning the Champions League. Not the Champions League, the European Cups. Plural. Kean, what do you think of all the criticism for Arsenal for how they celebrated? I wasn't aware there had been any. If there have, maybe I've not seen any. I've not seen any. I think the excessive celebrations generally with Arsenal, it's not just like last night, it's generally across the board, isn't it? They've over-celebrated things where maybe teams would be kind of, listen, let's just, yes, by all means celebrate, but, keep a lid on it a little bit. You've still got a final to play. You've not won anything. So maybe there's an element of that in those criticisms, but I don't know. I've not really seen an awful lot of it. What else have we missed? Pete Greenall, how's it going, Pete? Alex says Real Madrid players fighting each other. Yeah, Tchouaméni and Valverde knocking 7 bells out of each other. What do we think of that? M8799, can't complain. How's your day been? Day's been excellent. Excellent. CZ4RNY says, bro, Kane was so bad yesterday. Also, Elise, massacre. And Cam says, this just proves algorithms make Arsenal fans out to be worse than they actually are. In what sense? In what sense, Cam? I'd love you to elaborate. Valverde thing is even worse. Valverde misses at least the next game. Cam says, I've seen criticism for over-celebrating everywhere, but I'm a fan. It's algorithm. Well, oh, yes, sorry, yes, I get that. Yeah, if you're an Arsenal fan, I imagine that would be served to you more than, say, me, who's a Liverpool fan. I've not seen anything about Arsenal over-celebrating. I didn't say Arsenal over-celebrated, and even me, I am apparently chief Arsenal hater. I didn't say anything at all about Arsenal over-celebrating. Never passed my lips. And by the way, I didn't give myself that moniker of chief Arsenal hater. I'm just saying I get an awful lot of stick for exactly that. And if I'm not saying it, then I don't really know who is. Fotty says, what are we saying? Lifted up by Luke Shaw, Ahmad, away by McAllister. Kobbie Mainoo rattles it in at the Stretford end. Yeah, not really away by McAllister. Just, yeah, McAllister didn't clear anything that night. Marcus Jones, the new LFC Owen. The new LFC Owen. I'm yet to spit at my camera or fundraise for past players. So I've got a long way to go, I think, to catch up to him. I respect that. I think you're probably painted bad due to algorithms too. It's rough. Yeah, I mean, it is. I'm definitely taken out of context quite a few times. Like, they'll literally... So, do you know when you see something? We all do it, don't we? Where you see something in football, you see the replay, and you go, ooh, that looked like a foul. That looked like a foul. It looked like a penalty. Or it looked like offside. It looked like... First glance, right? The very first replay you get shown, I nearly always, if it is actually cut and dry, I'll look at it and go... no, actually, I was wrong on that one. It definitely wasn't a foul. Or it definitely wasn't offside. They don't show that. They only show the first bit. So it just looks like he's gone, offside. It's a foul. Or it's a penalty. Or it's never a penalty. There's been plenty of times where I've said it's never a penalty. And then I've looked at it and gone, yeah, probably is a penalty, to be honest. Daddy O says, Chief Arsenal hater, congrats on the promotion. You have been promoted. You are now my elite employee. Clarky, Key, I was at the game against Liverpool. Virgil van Dijk hasn't got the legs anymore. Oh, I don't think that's... I think that's something... Maybe that's wishful thinking on your part, Clarky. I don't think that's anything to do with Virgil van Dijk. I don't for 1 second... claim that he's what he was 3-4 years ago. Age catches up to all of us, but he's certainly not a lost cause. He's still the best defender in the world for me. Wouldn't swap him. Genuinely wouldn't swap him. Zach Anderson, realtor. Hey, pretty good American accent. Cheers, Zach. Appreciate that, buddy. That one probably not so much. Shell is... Tarkeith couldn't decide on Tim Cahill or KDH. What are we saying? Finners Matty, have you seen Real Madrid fans want Mbappe out the club and they're making a petition for it? Yeah, 30 million people allegedly have signed that petition as well. I'm not sure about it. I retract my statement. I appreciate... At least I gave the first one a go anyway. Saliba and Gabriel both better, by the way. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, comfortably. Best ever. MCFC says, yeah, PSG, please save us. They've already started saying Rice as top 5 midfielders of all time and Saka as top 5 attacker ever. Let them have the little moment. Let them have the little moment. Heaven forbid they don't actually win anything. Listen, there's two realities. If you're really that... I'm not... Despite what people say, I'm really not that worried. If Arsenal win both things, well done. Congratulations. Good luck to him. But if they don't... Right, even if they do, here's the two realities if you're worried. If they do win something, about time. They've spent £1 billion. They've not won anything for 20 odd years. They've never won a European Cup in over a century. So yeah, about time. Come on, yeah, great, well done. About time. Even Chelsea have won fucking 2. Come on, about time. Pull your finger out. You were apparently a big club before that for however long. But you never won a European Cup. You've got to do it at some point. 22 years is long enough for Arsenal. So, and £1 billion. So if anyone gives you any grief, just say, well, yeah, I mean, about time. Kind of is about time. And it'll be one of the record low points totals for a champion. So, yeah, congratulations, but, well done. About time. If they don't win anything, then at the same time, you can be like, wow. Wow. So they can't really win, to be honest. Finners Matty, someone said to me today when they want Arsenal to win because PSG is just oil money and cheated their way to the final. You could say that too. But there's plenty of other clubs. There's no clubs. There's no such thing as a club doing it totally all clubs have to spend big money. They just spend it in different places. AVFC says, going to go for a 2-0 win tonight. 2-0 to the Villa. Daddy O says, I get the algorithm and I've not heard either of those takes. I don't know where some of you lot browse. And Montesut, how are you, Key? Villa looked pretty average the other day. I think Forest should have them covered. By the way, it's 4:13 a.m. in Australia. Whoa, that's dedication for you. Montesut's 4:13 a.m. So you're... 5, 9, you're 9, no, you're 8.5 hours ahead of us wherever you are in Australia. Is that right? 8.5 hours ahead? Good grief. Well, that is definite dedication for you to get up to watch Aston Villa against Nottingham Forest at 4:13 a.m. in Australia, mate. And lots of love to you down under. Again, not a great accent. Do you think Eze is going to the World Cup? Nope. Teaching Tony, love you, Key. Love you too. Love you too. Please turn up, Villa. User 456, have you been enjoying this week's European matches? Always. It's good. It's all good fun. Watching footy, however so disappointing the entertainment might be on the night, it's all good fun. I get to chat to you lovely people. We get to watch a game together. We get to chat about whatever guff is going on in the world. And generally just whatever's happening in the world of football anyway. Today we've been chatting about Tchouaméni and Valverde knocking 7 bells out of each other. Shell says, your worst nightmare, Key, Monday when we were 3-1 up, Arsenal winning the league and Everton in Europe. Oh yeah, hey, I can live with Arsenal winning the league and I can even live with Arsenal winning the Champions League. I can't have Everton in Europe, Shell. We can't have that. Put your passport away. Please turn up, Villa, says mind your own. Ryan Mill says, do you think Everton can get a form of European football? Oh, there you go. I don't think so, no. I don't believe so. I think Everton are going to finish behind, at the very least, Bournemouth, Brentford, Brighton. Can't see him finishing ahead any of those 3. Chelsea they might do, but nobody else. PDM, Key loves watching Arsenal, best club in England, and Liam says that fight between Valverde and Tchouaméni is insane. Yeah, apparently it's the second time it's happened as well. Mudu says if Arsenal wins anything, everyone else better hide. Nah. Ollie says might be better for you to finish 5th and Villa 4th to avoid Everton getting a Europe spot. Maybe, hey, maybe we're going to throw the game at Villa Park so Everton don't get Europe. Liam says, hi Key, won't be an easy task for Villa tonight, 1-0 down, and they've been in great form. Yeah, they haven't been in great form. Yes. Keith says Everton will have to win their last 3 games to have any chance of Europe they had, and they've had an okay season, but they'll be disappointed if they don't. I think if you'd have hung on, I genuinely do think if you'd have hung on against City just for another 30 seconds, you'd have got the 3 points. What a great result that would have been. And I think you probably would have kicked on and got Europe. Sadly, I think the draw was neither good to City nor you, was it? It was kind of a kick in the balls for both teams. First time was an argument, second time was a full fist fight. And allegedly Valverde's gone to hospital, right? City of Northville, they aren't letting that scraggly lot into wider Europe. And Finners Matty, I also said Arsenal spent loads too and spent more than Liverpool. He just laughed and didn't believe it. Who? Who to? Who was you talking to, Finners? I said to him, Jelly. What's that? Someone said to me today they want Arsenal to win because PSG is just... right, okay. Yeah, Arsenal have spent double what Liverpool have. If you really... We can just lean on that statistic. That's enough for you. Real Madrid has always been crazy, but it's getting ridiculous now, says Archie. And the Booish, all right, bro, how's it going? Very good, mate. How's it going with you? Jellyfish says City may get charged, or may never get charged, because they can keep seeking it back and overturning the decision. No, not this time. Not this time. They've basically codified it, haven't they, in the Premier League, that whatever the decision is of the Premier League, it stands. There's no, like, taking it to a court of appeal or any of that stuff. They can take it to a court of appeal, but the decision is implemented immediately. In other words, if City get relegated, they are relegated. They can go and fight it in the courts, but they will be relegated. I don't think that's going to happen for what it's worth. Whatever punishment City get, they'll probably still fight it out, but I imagine they'll still be a Premier League side. PDM, I come in, the first thing I hear is, in all seriousness, I'm happy to just get to the final of the Champions League and be top of the Prem. If we lose both, then so be it. Just enjoying seeing our team fight. Yes. And I'm happy for folk like you, mate. I'm really happy for folk like you. Mick92, Keelan, how's it going? Lucas, 33. The Arsenal hater. It's your whole personality. Wait, that's a whole lot more personality than Lucas seems to have. Is this Liverpool the worst title defenders of all time? Yes, if you've only started watching football in the last 2 or 3 years. Yes, I would agree so. If you've watched football before then, and you've got a little degree of, you know what's happened before, then, yeah, no, nowhere near. Nowhere near. There's plenty worse than Liverpool. Owen, I love watching your reactions to Liverpool losing. It's the best, because you come out with some shit. Cheers, Owen. Good to see you, man. Mark says that hairline keeps creeping further back. It is hanging on for dear life, mate. I am clinging on to it for as long as I can before I have to go full Anfield agenda. I don't want to get accused of copying the fella. Ultra Gamer, Man City will never be punished, same time next year. And City of Northville, it'd be amazing if they let them spend all the money, do their signings, and then get relegated so we can loot their corpse. Fucking hell, mate. Hi Key, hi chat, how's it going, Jabba? Bronstan, people forget just how bad 15-16 Chelsea was. Mourinho didn't make it to October. And Mick, did you watch our game on Monday? I did, mate, yes. I watched Everton City. Unlucky in the end, I think, Everton. They battered your first half. But to go... was it luck or was it just throwing the game away? I think if you 3-1 up against City and you literally concede straight away, yeah, Moyes wouldn't have been happy with that. Just knew what was coming at the end. There's plenty of Evertonians felt the same. It's a shame. It is a shame, because I really do think if you'd have won that one, you'd have probably got Europe. WATP, disappointed Rangers out the title race. Think Hearts win it now. Do you think you're going to beat Celtic in the Old Firm at the weekend to kind of help Hearts do it? Come on, the Jambos. It was like the FIFA kickoff glitch. Finners Matty could say the same thing that happened to Palace and Leon. Or sorry, could the same thing that happened to Palace and Leon happen with Brighton and Hearts if they both get Champions League, as they are both owned by Tony Bloom? Yes, it could. Yeah, if Brighton were to get 6th and Villa... Sorry, yeah, Brighton get 6th, Villa get 5th, and Villa win the Europa League, then Brighton would qualify for the Champions League. Hearts would also be in Champions League qualifying. So, I think... I could be wrong, but I think that would necessitate Brighton going in the Europa League. Yeah. I think it would genuinely force Brighton into the Europa League. And that might mean, as a consequence, that 7th place gets the Champions League in the Premier League. Interesting, though, isn't it? All the permutations that could happen around the final day. Apparently, Ian was saying to me earlier, there is a world where where Brentford might need to lose on the final day at Anfield in order to get Champions League football. I've never heard of that, but if that's the case, then that's going to be a mad one. LJ says, Key, no matter what, up the toffees, will be back. If not this weekend, then next weekend. You got Crystal Palace, haven't you, coming up this weekend? K, could Forest win the Europa League or will Villa turn it round tonight? I think Forest are going to do it. I'm backing Forest, but I'm absolutely not going to be surprised if Villa turn it round. Villa can turn it on. Unai Emery is the greatest manager ever to manage in this competition. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really interesting game, this one. I'm fascinated to see how Villa approach it because they've lost their last 3 games in a row. Forest have been phenomenal recently. The Chelsea game was a great performance and they rested a load of players. Villa rested a load of players against Spurs and lost. It was a big gamble for them. Liam says, will Brighton being in the Europa League really let them down? Well, not really. It's still Europe, right? Still Europe. Ciao, have you a shirt from Inter? I have, yes. I've got a shirt from Inter. I think it was the one with Diego Milito. It might have even been the one, actually, a little bit before that. With when Figo was there. About 2008, maybe. 2008, 2009 at a push. Possibly a little bit earlier. Either way, it's about that time. City of Northville, if Arsenal do lose to PSG, will you please do a special video with their celebrations for making the finals clipped up for a nice runner-up celebration ceremony? Yeah. Hey, why not? Yeah, we'll do it. Have you heard of Forest Green Rovers? Of course, yeah. Robbie Savage's Forest Green Rovers. Oxford fan, they were in it like 3 years ago though, Liam, so they'll want Champions League. Of course, yes. Lancashire Evertonians as Palace 1, Everton 2 this weekend. Okay, we're very close to kick-off now. Very, very close to kick-off. Do we think Villa or Forest? Get your predictions in the chat. Who are we thinking? Who are we thinking here? Keith scored. Did you see that rugby tackle in the box, Key, in the Everton City game? What the heck, man? Yeah, I thought that one probably was a penalty. But I'd also argue, I think you got off a little bit with the Tierno Barry one, in that the goal stood. I know Mark Gay passes it back, but Barry is offside and becomes active. Before Gay even touches it, Barry becomes active because he goes for the ball. He chases the ball down. And if he's active, then the goal should be ruled out, because he's offside when the ball gets played through. The ball gets played through to Barry. He goes for it. The fact that Gay then tries to pass it back is inconsequential. That should be ruled out for me. Key, I'm a huge fan going into the final. Surely you should support an English team. I absolutely will, yeah. Looking forward to supporting Palace and maybe Forest in the final. Good luck to those two. Yeah, definitely will be supporting them. Best of luck to Palace and Forest. PDM says, K, Sarah, whatever will be, will be. We're going to Hungary. Archie, think Forest will win, but will not be surprised if Villa switch it on. And atmosphere at Villa Park is already back. Sorry, he's already back. Then Sunday, terrible atmosphere on Sunday. Oh, it was garbage on Sunday. Is that what we're saying? LJ says, nah, back pass offside doesn't count, Key. No, before the back pass, LJ. Before the back pass. It doesn't count if it's a back pass, I get it. But before the back pass, he should have been blown up for offside. Because he goes for it. Jake, who's playing today? We're watching Aston Villa against Nottingham Forest in the Europa League. 90 minutes is a long time at Villa Park. 3-1 to Villa, says Ultra Gamer. Let's go Forest, says Shell. Come on, let's just have a good game. I'm really hoping we just get a really good game tonight. Lots of goals, fast start. Hopefully, both of these teams giving a good account of themselves. AZV, mate, why do you hate Arsenal? Okay, how many times do you think we have to say this? Because I reckon we need to get a counter, don't we? We need to get a counter. How many times does people come in and say, why do you hate Arsenal? And I'll give the same explanation I give all the time. I don't hate Arsenal. I don't hate Arsenal at all. There you go, that's one. That's one for tonight. I don't hate Arsenal at all. Uncle P, my old friend Key, did you watch Arsenal? I did, mate, yes. Banging on about offside again, wrongly again. Well, listen, if you want to make your point, if you want to make a case, I'm happy to hear it. No such thing as best idea wins, right? Best idea wins. No egos here. If you're right, I'm happy to be reasoned with. Boris Johnson is London's new mayor. Nothing to do with me. Yeah. No interest in voting for London's new mayor. Jay Cartman, imagine if you got a quid every time someone asked that question, you'd be rich, mate. If I got a penny every time I got asked that. Mark my words, 2-1 Villa. Watkins double Buendia, first assist. Lump it on. Go on, Sam. Well, the lineups are in, and it's Martinez, Powell, Konza, Lindelof, Digne and Cash in the full-back positions. Tielemans, Buendia, McGinn, and Morgan Rogers just off Ollie Watkins. Some options on the bench, but there's not a huge amount of them. Harvey Elliott's there, but I don't know why, because he's never going to get on the pitch, is he? Jadon Sancho, Tammy Abraham, Martin, Bohada, Bailey, Douglas Luiz, Andres Garcia, Mings, and then the two goalkeepers, Wright and Bezo. Look at the display there, the red and claret. Or claret and blue, not red and claret, claret and blue. PDM chat, why do you hate Arsenal? Key, because they are shit and play boring football. Well, I was trying to be diplomatic with the answer. Is it a back three or is Lindelof in midfield? According to TNT, it's saying that Lindelof is in a back three. And are all these teams in the top 12 Prem rooting for Villa tonight for the best chance of an extra Champions League spot? Yes, I would absolutely expect that's the case. Lancashire Evertonian Harvey Elliott is better than Wirtz, to be honest, at Liverpool. I don't think you're going to find too many agree with you on that one. I'm not sure you'll find too many agree with that there. Well, come on, we're rooting for Forest tonight. Ortega in goal, Williams, Morato, Milenkovic, Cunha at the back, Hutchinson, McAtee, Anderson, Dominguez, and then Igor Jesus off the captain tonight, Chris Wood. There's a lot of players there for Forest that on the bench that you look at and think, I'm not quite sure if Forest need to bring someone on to change the game. Can they do it? Will they do it? Have they got really any options on the bench, Forest? I look at the bench and I think, well, Murillo's there. If he was fit enough for a place on the bench, was he not fit enough to start? Murillo's got to be a better option to start than Morato. I'm surprised that he's not there. They've got Gibbs-White on the bench. Again, if he was fit enough off the bench, why wouldn't you start him? This is Forest's season tonight, isn't it? Why wouldn't you start Gibbs-White? Looker, Ndoye, Sangare, Ryan Yates, Backward. They've got some options on the bench. I'm just really surprised that we've got Gibbs-White and Murillo, both fit enough for the bench, but not fit enough to start. I thought maybe they'd have pushed themselves a little bit more Or maybe the coaching staff would have pushed them a little bit harder to get him in the team. Ethio, I don't like Liverpool too, but the hate Arsenal is getting is just next level. It's not. It's not. It's normal. It's really normal. This is what happens with all teams when they're at the top of the table. Happens with everyone. It happened with City. It happened with us. It's normal. You get used to it. It's kind of a trade-off for when you win something. The only difference for Arsenal is that they've had this sustained hatred for a long time and won nothing in like 5-6 years. So it feels much more pronounced for Arsenal. Villa, get us underway at Villa Park here. Come on, let's get a nice early goal. Oh, they're in down the right-hand side straight away. Fast start. It's going to be a corner, is it? No, goal kick. McGinn couldn't quite get the right ball in there. Don't forget, if you're locking in with us tonight, if you're watching the full game with us, make sure you leave a like on the video. We're just about to get the game restarted with a goal kick. I never know which is that. That's the Holt end, isn't it? Is that the Holt end for Villa? I never know which is the Holt end at Villa Park. I'm an Arsenal fan. I just know Key well enough for the response he won't say. Hey, I'll say it. I'm just, I'm trying to be nice about it. Daddy-O says Forest B team did all right against Chelsea and they have the lead, so no need to risk him. Imagine if they draw 0-0 and he gets injured and misses the final. Yeah, maybe I've got it wrong then. Maybe it's confidence from Vítor Pereira. Maybe it's actually ultimate confidence in the guy and saying, listen, do you know what? Like, we've got Murillo, we've got Gibbs-White. We're going to need you guys in the final. So I'm only bringing you on tonight if you're needed. Actually, I think this team can go out and win. I think this team can go out and at least get a draw, which takes us to Istanbul. That's where the final is, the Europa League final in Istanbul. Gunnar loves Jesus, home end. No, I know it's the whole. I know the Holt end's the home end. I was saying which end is it? Is it this end or that end? But this end or this end? Harry Sinclair, hey Key, the Holt end is on the left. I thought it was that side. Yes, I thought it was that side. That's what I was saying. Is it's a goal kick at the Holt end, right? Yeah, I thought it was. Just wasn't sure if I'd got it right. I didn't want to make myself look any more of a divvy than I normally do. Ultra Gamer, I hope Villa win so they are less focused on the Prem game versus my team, Man City. Yeah, I mean, I'd quite like, in an ideal world, Villa to win and go through. Because if they do, you're right, I think they would then be less focused for the Premier League games against Liverpool and Man City. I also think the direct consequence of that would be that Forest would be mega focused when they play Manchester United at Old Trafford. And I still harbour an outside hope of Liverpool finishing above United. It's still possible. There's still time. 6 points. That's all we need. Villa are attacking the Holt end first half. That's the one, Reece. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Talbs, why do you have a filter on? Bit gay. What have you got against the gays, mate? What's up with that? That's not cool. I don't have a filter on anyway. I wish I did. I don't even know how you do it. You are so bitter. Oh, so bitter. Dreadfully bitter. What's your view of Arsenal winning the Champions League and the league? Let me know when it happens. Yeah, I was asked it for a good few years. Let me know when it happens. Lancashire Evertonian, City v Brentford, West Ham v Arsenal, massive weekend in the race. Yeah, listen, we're going to do our Premier League preview show tomorrow. For the members only, we'll be doing our Premier League preview show before the Hull and Millwall Championship playoff game. So, yeah, we'll have to be going through all of this weekend's fixtures. There's some massive ones. Obviously, Liverpool-Chelsea on Saturday, 12:30. But there's There's plenty of other juicy fixtures coming up. Now, Arsenal's parade's been booked on May 31st. Yeah, I think it was booked about the same day when they got beat against Barcelona in 2006. I'm pretty confident it was booked for then as well. Where do I think Chelsea will finish at the end of the season? Where do we think Chelsea will finish at the end of the season? I'm being asked that in the chat. I'll throw it out to the chat. What do we think, folks? Where did Chelsea finish at the end of the season? Adam says Gibbs White on the bench. Will he wear a mask if he comes on? I would imagine so. Imagine if you can catch a glimpse of him behind Vítor Pereira, he might already have a mask on. Michael says 9th. Charlie 9th. SA says 9th. Anybody else? Any other shouts on the other platforms? Where do we think Chelsea are going to finish? 12th on Twitch. Bloody hell. Can they finish that low? 11th, says Sarah. Bloody hell. They have started to collapse a little bit, and obviously they've got the FA Cup final to focus on, worry about. So, yeah, maybe there is a possibility that Chelsea just refocus, switch to the FA Cup game against City. It does baffle me though. I can't quite get to grips with the idea that the FA Cup final comes after, or before rather, the final Premier League games of the season. We'll have an FA Cup winner before the Premier League games are completed. It's mad. Bryce, good afternoon from just a short swim away, balancing some baseball in Europa League right now. Oh yeah, the baseball's on tonight, aren't they? It's the Red Sox are on shortly. And the Phillies. Cole Palmer's haircut not looking so good now. They can still finish 16th, Key. Chelsea can. Oh God, that's not a good sign. We don't want Chelsea finishing 16th. That would be utterly hilarious. Everton are not going to finish 7th. I don't know where that's come from. Yeah, no, where do I think Chelsea will finish? Probably about maybe 8th or 9th. They might have a little tail off towards the end of the season and focus on the FA Cup. Football and stuff. Hi, Key. Hope everything's good. I'm good, mate. More importantly, how the devil are you? Baseball is rounders for adults. Crap. Hey, rounders is good fun. Villa play the ball all the way back to Martinez here. Come on, Nottingham, says Gabriel. City of Northville, Cole Palmer dropped form right after the Nike commercial and trademarking his celebration and signature. Yeah, that was never a smart idea, that was it? That whole... Yeah, no. Not a great idea. Did anyone see that today, by the way? The Adidas, the new Adidas advert that everyone's going mad over. Very much the next sort of... Remember the Nike advert, the cage with Cantona? And now we've got the Adidas advert, or Adidas, whatever way people want to pronounce it. Palace are 1-0 up against Shakhtar. Football and stuff, I'm great. I'm going on Saturday to the Brighton game. I've got season tickets. Hopefully we can bounce back with a win. Big moment, really, for Brighton, isn't it, towards the end of the season? And, what else am I getting asked here? Sorry. Key, let's test your baseball knowledge. What's a Grand Slam? I don't know. Something to do with the World Series? I've no idea. I genuinely don't know anything about baseball. Beast Snow says, Cubs fan here, watching an afternoon game while the Cubbies play at gorgeous Wrigley Field. And Reese, I want Forest, the story that lets fans of all clubs dare to dream. From the Championship to potential European champions in 3 years, while in the midst of a relegation battle. It's mind-boggling. Yeah, that's a really nice story, isn't it? What a ball this is from Forest. Here's Amari Hutchinson. Down the left-hand side. Chance for a strike. Oh! Inches. Inches in that one. Wow. So close from Amari Hutchinson. He's not been at his best this season. I've always thought Amari Hutchinson, probably one of the more overpriced signings of last summer, But there was shades of Jeremy Doku against Everton there. Cuts in from the right. Digne nowhere near it. And left foot just wraps his foot round it. Doesn't quite get enough purchase on it. And it goes wide of the far post. But a very, very good effort. Forest, first shot in anger. 10 minutes in at Villa Park and Forest have had the first shot in anger. Madhouse World Series. Is that not a thing? I don't know. That's tennis, I'm pretty sure. No, the World Series is definitely a thing with baseball, isn't it? I'm sure it is. You're really upsetting me now because I'm sure I got that right. You're making me doubt everything I know about everything. PDM isn't a Grand Slam where they win all they can in the season. Probably. That sounds about right. Harry, one of my mates, is American and British dual citizen and said, why would he go and watch Major League Baseball when he could go to the local school and watch rounders? And he said watching kids for no reason is odd. Yeah, a little bit odd. Yeah, a little bit odd. Palace nil, Shakhtar nil. Just a little bit, yeah. Finners Matty, did you know Spurs can still finish higher than Chelsea? No, surely that's not true. Is that actually the case? I'd love that. They've got to play Chelsea as well, haven't they? Jabba, from what I've read, Tchouaméni kicked Valverde in training. When they went to the changing rooms, Valverde started fighting Tchouaméni and Tchouaméni knocked him out. And Mike, I'm so glad Palace are winning, which means they'll rotate heavily against Arsenal. Get in. Again, don't be so sure about that. You know, it'll also be, I think, Oliver Glasner's final game at Selhurst Park, won't it? The Arsenal game. What a turn by Watkins. Oh, it's going to be a corner for Villa. Corner for Villa. User says Muppet. Oh, no. Oh, no. Shahid says the only thing I watch is the Super Bowl, mainly for the halftime show. Palace goal's been disallowed. Grand Slam is home run with runners on all the bases. I'd never have got that. Daddy O says I want Palace to win the Europa, but not sure about Forest. Oh, what a save! Big save, that from Ortega. It was Pau Torres with a flick on at the near post off the corner. And Ortega with a flick on. Big chance that. Maybe a bit of an easy save. Bit of a Hollywood save, that from Ortega. Endo United fan here. Love your content, no. Cheers, man. And good to have you here. Where's the Europa final? It's in Istanbul. Mike says, win his last game at Selhurst Park or a European trophy. Yeah, great, mate. Yeah, but it's not binary, is it, Mike? It's not binary. It's not win his final game at Selhurst Park or a European trophy. What I'm saying is that is his farewell at Selhurst Park after maybe being Palace's most legendary manager. So what I'm saying to you is, yeah, the idea that you think because Palace have got to a final, they're just going to rest all their players and not really care less about a game at Selhurst Park, his final game, I think that's a little bit detached from reality, my friend. I think there is a real possibility that he'll go strong and back his team to get an upset. I mean, he may take some players off towards the end of the game. You've got to remember, that's also another challenge for those players. There'll be a lot of players who play instead of the normal crowd, let's say. Will Hughes might come in for Daichi Kamada. Yeremy Pino might come in for Ismail Assar. Those players will still be playing for a place in the Europa Conference League final. It's not that easy, mate. Just because it's sometimes harder to play teams when they've got quote-unquote little to play for. Kermit the Frog. How many countries or international clubs take part in the World Series? Absolutely no idea. Crazy to think this Villa side a year ago nearly took PSG to extra time. I mean, you could say the same about Liverpool, couldn't you? Took them to penalties. And we're basically same number of points as Villa in the league. Steve McNair, is this what Americans sound like when they speak about cricket? Hey guys, what's the 2020 about? How many overs have we got left in this? He hit it right out the end zone. All the baseball haters in here, geez, don't knock it till you try it, boys. Going to a game in the summer, eating a hot dog and having your drink of choice is the best. Love that. Maybe aside from the hot dog. Hot dogs are generally, like, it's literally whatever's left on the floor after. It's awful stuff. Jabba says baseball games are nice to go with a group and hang out. Yeah, I imagine they're quite cool, actually, to go and, like, yeah, they'd be a good... Yeah, I think I would go and watch a baseball game. I don't know what that means when that happens in baseball games. I've just seen it in films. Harry Sinclair, if Palace win the Conference League, that'll be incredible, and also would love Villa or Forest to win the Europa League. I'm sure they will. Braga down to 10 men against Freiburg. JXYSF, do you have a life or do you just watch every game in the world? Every game in the world. I have absolutely no life. PDM, what would you rather go and see? Major League Baseball, NBA, cricket, tennis or golf? Forest in the area, claim for the pen from Chris Wood. No chance, ref. Absolutely no chance. What would I rather go see? Baseball, NBA, cricket, tennis or golf? Definitely not golf. Definitely not tennis. Definitely not cricket. I've already been and seen ice hockey at Madison Square Garden, and that was amazing. I would love to go and see baseball, I think. I'd have liked to see the NBA as well. I think because I've been to Madison Square Garden and I did the NHL, I think the NBA experience would be broadly the same. So, yeah, maybe a bit squeakier. The trainers on the court. But no, I think I'd rather maybe go and see baseball. Yellow card for the Aston Villa coach. Not happy at all. Oxford fan says, considering I've been to the cricket and going to Wimbledon in the summer, probably NBA. Ooh. Jabba says, one of the tunes is Charge. The one Key was signing is Score. I often get them mixed up. And LJ says, how's rugby for you, Key? I mean, I'd rather not play it. I think I'm past the point of playing rugby now. Freiburg have gone 1-0 up against Braga. That is a big goal because it now puts Freiburg level on the night. It's 2-2 on aggregate, sorry. And Braga are down to 10 men. Mario Dorgeles has been sent off, the midfielder. Another one who's come in from the Danish Super League. And I think he was he Viborg or was he? I don't know if he was Viborg. It might have been Midtjylland actually. I can't remember. He was in the Danish Super League. Though there's plenty of young players who've gone across to Portugal and to the Championship, obviously from Denmark. Jack says, go see Arsenal. I've seen enough of Arsenal. I think I'd fall asleep. I don't know if I can do much more of that, to be honest. Are you what you wanna be? What are we saying? Campos. What's that? What do you think about Cordoba's chances of getting promoted to La Liga? Where are they up to? Let me have a look at the table. They were just outside. I know they've been on a great run, but where are they up to? La Liga 2. Oh, 9th. Yeah. See, you might have seen the Malaga shirt over my shoulder. I'm a bit of a Malaga fan, so I'd like to see Malaga come up. And I think Las Palmas will. Oh, it's a tough group, that, you know. Malaga, Las Palmas, La Coruña. Almeria could still get pulled into it. I think Santander will win the league, though. I think I'll back Santander to win the league. But, yeah, I'd like Cordoba. I don't see why not. Outside chance. You've got maybe as much chance as anyone. But you've been an entertaining side this season. I know Cordoba have done well recently. Lots and lots of wins. Bryce says, I love coming in and sidetracking everyone to something American. It always seems to get sidetracked. We're always talking about anything other than football, to be honest, when the footy's a bit... nothing going on, let's say. Here's Watkins. That's a foul and a free kick to Villa. Big chance that for Villa, edge of the box. Poor. Very poor that from Dominguez. John says, surprised you're not watching Arsenal. It's an odd comment. Are Arsenal playing? I wasn't aware that Arsenal were playing. Can we turn it over very quickly so I can watch Arsenal instead? John's told me Arsenal are playing. Gabriel says Latvia has a semi-pro team called Tractor. Lovely stuff. Red Rebellion, Villa have completely fallen off a cliff, so I reckon Forest go through. Come on, Forest. Max, have you heard what Southampton have done? No, go on, what have Southampton done? Educate me. Free kick just outside the box. Aston Villa, it's just right of centre. About 25, maybe... No, it's 25 yards, isn't it? About 25 yards out. Ortega getting his wall set. How dare Americans patronise this channel en masse. Arsenal are always playing rent-free in your head. Here we go. Luca Dean and Buendia. This has got all the hallmarks of a Luca Dean free kick. I'll be astonished if Buendia takes this, because it's teed up perfectly for a left footer. Luca Dean, it's got to be Luca Dean, this one. Got to be. Left-footed, Ortega stood to the right, Buendia over the wall and took a deflection over. Biscuit chat is always interesting. Yeah, we'll probably go back to the biscuit chat at some point. Forest love rotating their keepers at the minute. I think he's just keeping them on the toes, aren't he? Header far post, out for a goal kick, that one. 21 minutes in. Forest still in the lead. Wrong taker. It was, wasn't it? It was definitely one. It was set up for Luca Dean, that one. It was all teed up for Luca Dean. Don't know why Luca Dean wasn't taking that one. Gamer Guru says, come on Forest, yet got the background for Villa. Purple's not Villa. In what world is purple Villa? Villa don't have any purple. It's claret. It's claret and blue. There's no purple with Villa. Alright, here, I'll change it then. Christ. If you're saying there's some sort of conflict of interest, we'll change it. If I can change it. What should we change it to? What should we change it to? There you are. We'll have it green. We'll have it green, then there's no sense of bias. Sweet Jesus. Accused of bias because I've got a purple background. To quote Will from The In-Betweeners, now that was fucking dreadful. Have you seen that Spurs fan on TikTok? He's dead funny. He looks like Will from The In-Betweeners. Or at least that's what everyone seems to be. He leans into it a little bit, I think, to be fair. He's a funny kid. Funny kid. Red Rebellion says, you'll never sing that. You'll never sing that. Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. Hey, don't count your chickens. They might do, yeah. Jay, are you and Simon Wilson related? Yep. He's me husband. Burgundy, I thought. Green, that's me switching off. Why? What's up with green? You're not a fan of green? The colour, before anyone starts. Crystal Palace 1, Shakhtar 0. Gotta say, having a good few keepers to sell is a good business plan. Well, they sold Newcastle Vlachodimos for, what was it, 25 million quid? Oh, claim for handball, look! Big claim for handball! Big claim for a handball. Hits his stomach, says the referee. Been questions about the handball rule after last night and recent handballs. Just very, very questionable. The ball bounced up there off Elliot Anderson. Let's see, does it hit him? Don't think there is a check. They're not even going to show it back. Jay, how do I lose weight? It's only willpower. If I can do it, anyone can. Dead easy. Green for Villa, you wrong un. PDM says the best thing on Twitter X today is the Spurs fan who cancelled an Arsenal fan's hotel reservation in Hungary. I think that's AI, innit? It's not real. There's no way they'd cancel a hotel based off a booking reference. Hey up, Derek, how's it going? Adam, UEFA refs have been having a murr lately. I mean, that one wasn't a handball. I'm just saying, I wasn't claiming it was a handball, but there was... I'm kind of curious now as to what constitutes a handball and what doesn't, according to UEFA's weird interpretation of it. Ball in from Buendia, corner, and Buendia gives it the old, come on, let's get up, get the crowd up. Madhouse is key. What do Arsenal have to do to beat PSG? Score more goals than PSG. Yeah. This charming dance is key. Since someone said Arsenal are always playing in your head, I was wondering, do they play better football in there? Oh yeah, I've got the noughties version, the early noughties version of Arsenal playing in my head. Header straight at the keeper, too easy that one. Handball is a philosophical concept at this point, says Steve McNair. No one really knows where they stand with it, do they? And we've got 2 players down in the area with a head injury. Watkins got a smack in the face there. Liverpool-Chelsea, Saturday, 12:30. Jay Cartman says, well, they brought the rule up on BBC last night and it states it's not a handball if the ball is hit by a player on the same team. Yeah, I didn't know that until last night, I've got to say. I did not know that until last night. Because I was under the assumption that if it hits your hand in the area, under the Champions League's interpretation of the handball rule, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter who hits it. And why should it matter? I don't get why it should matter at all. If it hits your hand in the box, I don't want it to be a penalty, but that's kind of the way that's the path they've gone down, isn't it? Like, there's not been intent. There was no intent with the Dembele handball that they gave the penalty for. There was no intent with the Ben White one that they gave a penalty for. So if it's not intent, if it's not, body shape, if it's not distance from the ball, if all of that stuff is, like, totally inconsequential, oh my God, Morgan Gibbs-White literally looks like Chucky. Morgan Gibbs-White literally looks like Chucky. He looks like Charles Lee Ray from Child Play. If you've not seen that film, I advise you not to watch it anyway. But it's, he looks like the bride of Chucky. DN says Gibbs White on the bench is class for them if they're needed to calm the game or a goal, they have him. And I was the same as Yuki. I was adamant it was handball, and they showed rule, and it was like, well, yeah, fair enough then. That's it. Yeah, you've got me banged to rights. I said that as well on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it these days. If you've still not gone and followed me on X, by the way, please go and follow me. I am shouting into a void over there on X every day. 22,500, well, nearly actually 23,000 I've got on YouTube. Barely 1,000 on Twitter, on X. I'm garbage. Probably don't do enough on there, to be honest. Same as TikTok. I don't really post enough on there. But, yeah, I'm trying to grow them. So if you do anything on X, if you do anything on Twitter, head over, give us a follow. I'll follow you back. PDM says, I think it could be an end-to-end game for the final. We cannot sit back as they will just mishandle our team. This is where Arsenal need to play the way of attack is the best form of defence. Hang on a minute, right? Arsenal have got to the final on the basis that defence is the best form of attack, right? They've gone the opposite way. Surely you don't think Mikel Arteta is going to change his philosophy based off a one-off game against the best side in Europe, the current holders, and maybe the best manager in Europe at this moment in time? Surely he's not going to abandon his principles and go, right, lads, I know that we've got to the league summit and the Champions League final. Finally, right, we're this close, and we've got there on the principles of we don't go past the halfway line unless there's 12 men back behind the ball. That's the kind of defensive instinct I want from you. And given that's the approach we've taken all season, we're now going to go gung-ho attack for the Champions League final on a one-off game. Finners Matiki, that's a stupid rule. What if it goes in for an own goal? Can someone just smack it away with their hands? No, I think that's different. I think that's obviously a different interpretation. If it's ball to hand, but it comes off your teammate, then it's not quite the same thing. But if there's a clear kind of, let's say it's an own goal, it's going in, and you then dive and shove it away, then that's a deliberate attempt to play the ball. Cheers, Steve. I'll follow you back, mate. I've not got Twitter access right here and now, but as soon as the live's over, if you follow me, I'll give you the follow back. I've no problem following you back. Alexander, thing is on X, you have to be a knob to get a decent following. It's quite sad how they made it work. I'm quite frustrated I haven't already got a following. No, well, yeah, I know what you mean. You have to. Do you know what you have to be? You have to be, like, I think, and I know I get accused of it, but I genuinely will not accept that I am, because I don't. I believe everything I say. I believe. There's no insincerity or authenticity. And if I am joking, you'll know I'm joking because I'll say I'm joking. But if I say it, I believe it. I think on Twitter you have to be very, very good at rage bait. You have to be really, really good at rage bait. There's one particular channel that does it very, very well, isn't there? That literally will just post, right? Let's look at today's stories. How can we frame this in the most clickbaity way and get it out there? And they're very, very talented at it. Evening, Swifty. How's it going, lad? You have to be controversial. It's like the newspapers, drama sells. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. PDM, your Twitter, is it on your YT description? I think so. If you just go to here, if you go to X and search the PL Dad or Key Thomas, you'll find me. I'm on there. Gamer Guru, it has to be an accidental handball from your own teammate. If you knowingly booted at your teammate for a handball and it's deliberate and would be a foul. Okay, there you go. Key, what are you going to say when the winning team celebrates at the end? I'm going to say, get off the pitch. What are you doing celebrating? You've won nothing yet. Forrest, brilliant play. Down the left-hand side. Excellent chance. Good ball back. Go on, Forrest. Headed away by Villa. D enters after all the English teams in the Champions League in the last 2 seasons. Who do you think give PSG best go? Liverpool. We took them to penalties. Yeah, we took them further than anyone. The amount of absolute sludge that comes out of these big Twitter accounts is baffling. Finners Matty, I got X, but only uses it for summer transfer window rumours. Hey, well, no pressure, mate. Like I said, if you use it, by all means, go and give us a follow. If you don't, that's fine. But I'm on there. And I'm trying to push a bit more out. Gamer Guru, Twitter isn't what it used to be. It's Elon's little propaganda machine now. I mean, do you know what? You do get an awful lot of guff on there that you don't actually want or follow. I do feel like you get, quite a bit of. I literally exclusively follow football accounts on there. I don't follow anything else. And even I will still get stuff popping up on that timeline that's and I don't interact with anything that's not football related on it. And you'll still get stuff popping up that's a bit why am I seeing that? Shakhtar equalise at Palace. Still don't think there's a game on that one. Swifty, I don't think the transfer rumours account has got a single one right yet. Well, I saw James Lawrence Alcott did transfer rumours show talking about the top 5 or top 6 players to replace Mo Salah. And I've got to say, I was a little bit underwhelmed because he's very, very talented, James Lawrence Alcott, isn't he? And tactics, breakdown, all that sort of stuff. Really appreciate the work that he does. But some of the players that he put in there was Lee Kangin from PSG, and I was like, he's a replacement for Mo Salah. I think he's 26 and he's averaged a goal every 10 games across the last 8 seasons. So, I kind of get the thinking, I suppose, but it's a bit underwhelming. You're not going to really... I'd be surprised if anyone puts Lee Kang in as a potential Mo Salah replacement this summer. Red Rebellion, any social media platform is a cesspool. Look at this one. Yeah. We have it quite nice here, don't we? But to be fair, if you see the comments that I get after the game on YouTube, and sometimes the comments that I get on TikTok, yeah, it's not always the nicest. But we try. We're nice, aren't we? We're all good. We're all good fun. Trucker Matt, how are you? I'm good, mate, thank you. Tom, just dropped you a follow on here and X. Just started creating content on football. Nice, Tom. Oh, well, good luck, mate. Good luck with it. I'll give you the follow back. I've not... This is like a mod account, so I'm not logged into Key Thomas on this phone. It's only on that phone right there. So after the live, I will follow you back. John Nellis has been to the Kassam a couple of times, hasn't he? John Nellis, yeah. I messaged him the other day on LinkedIn. Spoke to one of his gaffers. Oh, wow, what a ball and what a goal! Ollie Watkins with the bandage round his head. Ollie Watkins. Oh, love that. Love that. We've got a goal. I don't know why I'm saying love that. It's a goal. It's 1-0 Villa. It's Forest. They've now got it level and now we'll get a game. I was hoping we'd see some sort of a goal in the first half to at least liven this place up a little bit. It's Villa 1, Forest 0. Come on, Villa. Come on, Forest. Wake up. They've not done anything really in this first half, Forest. And it's the bloke who's got his head bandaged up like Terry Butcher. Who's, I mean, to be fair, what is going on at the back there? It's shocking play, actually, that from... Oh, that's really poor. That's really, really poor, that. Yeah, question marks. Real question marks there. Oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry. That's absolutely toilet defending. Toilet defending. Not good enough, that, from Forest. A long, long way to go yet, but they need to step it up. Gibbs White might be on sooner rather than later, you know. Good tackle that from Forest. PDM followed you now. Key, cheers, man. Thank you. I'll give you the follow back at full time. Gamer Guru, I really want Forest to win this. Come on, sort yourselves out, Forest. Pretend you're playing Chelsea. And Harry Sinclair, good to see you. What did I miss? Sorry, Timmy. Hiya, Timmy. How's it going, lad? Alexander says 120 mil for this guy. Marinakis is on something. Was it Morato? I think it was Morato at the back, but yeah, I mean, none of the players at the back really covered themselves in glory there. They were all a little bit sketchy, I think. And the way that Buendia just somehow wriggled through three of them. The clearance was dreadful. Elliot Anderson loses his footing, but if I'm dead honest, I think it's Cunha, it's Anderson, and even the run. Look at the run from Ollie Watkins. No one's tracking him. No one's tracking him. Nico Williams comes across, but it's not Nico Williams' man. It's not Nico Williams' man, that. It's one of the centre-backs has got to tuck in. How is Ollie Watkins drifting in there into the 6-yard box with no one around him? Ollie Watkins has got all the time in the world, and Nico Williams has got to try and cut across him. It's not Nico Williams' man, that. Welshwing, in case you missed... Oh, I didn't see you, mate. Yes, good to see you, mate. Good to see you. I've got a half-time quiz today, by the way. I've got one ready. I've got one ready to go. Villa are in. Strike. Oh, big save. Could be 2. What the fucking hell was that? Villa nearly 2 in front. Sam did say to you in here earlier, Watkins goal, Buendia assist and 2-1. You did. What did you get? What number? What ODDS did you get? If you did put it on. Good lad. Well done. Did you hear about Valverde's fight at Real Madrid? Yes, yeah. Tchouaméni and Valverde knocking 7 bells out of each other. 35s. Oh, yes. 10 on. Well done. Good lad. Go and take pennies off him. Looked like Everton defending in stoppage time, that. It wasn't that good, was it? Very poor defending by Forest. In a big moment, in a European semi-final, you need that solid defensive organisation. I think that's where Sells would have been a big miss. I think that's also where Murillo would have really come in handy. And it's, yeah, not a great start, I've got to say. Big Daddy Gooner, usually disagree with your takes, but like the content. Come on, you Gooners. Well, hey, good to have you in the chat, mate. It's fine to disagree. Lots of people agree, lots of people don't. It's all good. This is what it's about. It'd be weird if we all agreed with everything each other says, right? So, yeah, stick around. Let us know what you're thinking. We'll be talking about footy all night. All manner of things, not just Villa and Forest. We've already talked about everything from Arsenal in the Champions League final to Palace and what happens if Brighton finish 6th and Hearts win the Scottish League. Do they both qualify for the Champions League? That we don't quite yet understand yet. Gamer Guru says that's how Madrid should pick their captain. Lock the team in a room and last one standing takes the armband. Like a battle royale. Hardcore. Yeah. Freiburg have now gone 2-0 up. Now gone 2-0 up. Welshwing, did you vote today, Key? No. No, I don't vote. I don't vote. Point of principle. I am a political, what's the word? Politically abandoned, I guess. Politically homeless. Let's call it that. Yeah. Key sticks Union Jack flags on bus stops. Yeah, no, that's not me. But no, I am absolutely politically homeless. I've not voted today, and I have no intention of doing so. It's the only way you'll tell him. The only way you'll tell him that you're not happy with any of the options they're putting forward. Let them know your own dissatisfaction. Vote with your feet. I'm not even participating in this sham. Apolitical. Yeah, fine. Go on. Sorry, Mr. University. Buzzy Muntu. Good to see you, lad. Checking in. Click the like button. Good lad. Good lad. Yeah, hey, and no disrespect. Any you vote who you want. Vote who you want. No shade from me. But yeah, I won't do it. Not my thing. Not my thing. Good luck to whoever you want in the polls. Shocking. Everyone should vote for their local criminal. And Swifty, even if you did, always best to say nothing when running a business, in my view. Well, that as well. But I don't mind telling you I'm not interested in it. It's the same sort of thing as when we all get a little bit nostalgic, I guess, about what it was like when we were younger. But honestly, I mean, even the ones I had when I was younger, I grew up in major and blur Britain. So I just about missed the Maggie Thatcher years. So none of them were particularly great either. Joe says not even the Raving Loony Party. Not the Monster Raving Loony Party, no. We can probably agree that Foden is the most overrated player in the Prem. Do you think so? Foden the most overrated? In fact, let's do that then. Who is the most overrated player in the Prem? I don't even know, says hello, Key. How's it going? Timmy says, Key, was Villa's goal offside? No, it was played backwards. Played backwards, so I don't think it can be offside. Key's a Tory. Gamer Guru says 30p Panda Pops and 1p Sweets, 5p Freddos. Living the best life back in the day. Have you seen they're £1 now, Freddos? That's the ultimate sign of inflation, innit? Freddos are £1. £1.10 in some places if you go somewhere like posh, if you're in like Hale. Timmy says, my mum always asks me why you always say that's offside. She subbed to your channel because of that. I like your mum, Timmy. me and your mother, like that. Birds of a feather. What a question to ask a room full of toffees. Cole Palmer, Ollie Watkins, Isak. Foden's just another one that needs regular football and isn't getting it. Wow! Federico Valverde has suffered a traumatic brain injury and will miss El Clasico. The tests carried out today on our player Fede Valverde have suffered. He's been diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury. He's at home in good condition and will need to rest for 10 to 14 days as per medical protocols for this diagnosis. Right. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? I'm calling it now. I am calling it now. Right? That's a character assassination on Tchouaméni and he's going to be out. Real Madrid have picked their side there, haven't they? Real Madrid have picked their side. They have gone, we can either back Valverde, back Tchouaméni, or back neither and send both of them out the club. And they have absolutely sided with Valverde. Tchouaméni, there is absolutely no way that's the case. If he's at home resting in a good condition, 10 to 14 days, there's no need to even put that statement out. There's no need. That is a character assassination. They are 1,000,000%. Yeah, basically he got a slap and he's got a headache. Yeah, he's at home. He's popped 2 Anadin. Barry is clearly player of the year. The Frenchman linked to Man United. Hey, and Liverpool as well, Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni's going to get arrested for that. A traumatic brain injury. I mean, that's just quite a... It's quite an exaggeration. I mean, we don't know, I guess. We've no idea, but it does feel like a little bit of a... Like overplaying it a little bit. They'll sell Chewy because of violence. But you don't know anything about it. I mean, Valverde could have instigated it. There's, as always in these things, there's 3 sides to every story. There's Valverde's side, there's Tchouaméni's side, and then there's what actually happened. Here we go. Nottingham Forest win the ball back. It's going to be a free kick and 4 minutes left. Harry says, I hope you're joking about not voting. At the worst, spoil your ballot. Well, no, that is effectively what I meant. Yeah, spoiling your ballot. Yeah. Anyway, don't get too excited, United and Liverpool fans. Red Rebellion says Fordham reminds me of Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Tchouaméni practicing his inner Joe Linton. And Welshwing says Mourinho's currently ripping his contract offer up. Can we get a VAR on Valverde's injury? We don't know what happened. Never know what happened. Long ball over the top here. Chris Wood. Great defending from Konza. Excellent defending that from Villa. Could be concussion. Bit like Karius, yeah. Clark says, Key, you watching the Old Firm on Sunday? I'm not, mate. No, I won't be watching the Old Firm Sunday. Sunday we're doing 2 games. What's the 2 games we've got on Sunday? I can't remember off the top of my head. Terrible that from Buendia. Yeah, West Ham, Arsenal, Barca, Real Madrid. So we're going to do the Classico and we're going to do West Ham, Arsenal. I'm not going to bother with any of the others. Vítor's magic pen in action on the sidelines. Cooper. Reform would save the bloody country, mate. Well, I have no interest in it. I have no interest in it. Good luck to you. If that's what you believe, then I wish you Godspeed in whatever you believe and good luck in that outcome. No interest in it. Absolutely no interest in it. Brandon says, so you aren't doing Liverpool, even though you support them, or am I wrong? Liverpool aren't on Sunday, Brandon. Liverpool plays Saturday at 12:30. We play Chelsea. Hi, Egbert. How's it going? Hiller says, not necessarily an exaggeration. I've suffered the brain injury, so do we know a bit? A concussion can result in brain damage. And as have I, for what it's worth. I'm not trying to lead. I have also. But what I'm saying to you is, I think putting the statement out is unnecessary, and I think it's the start of a character assassination. I think that's what I was getting at. When I say exaggeration, I'm not talking about the injury, because ultimately none of us really know about the injury. I'm saying they're making a mountain out of a molehill by, like, putting a statement out and saying, oh, he's resting at home, he's going to be out for the next 14 days, he's suffered a traumatic brain injury. I think if Real Madrid wanted to play it down, they could play it down. If they wanted to ham it up, that's exactly what we'd see. And we are absolutely seeing them ham it up. Mad Pup says, good, if you're not watching Rangers, it means they have a chance of winning. And Key definitely isn't MAGA, make Arsenal great again. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do the Donald Trump impression. Brandon says, can I ask why you hate Arsenal so much? I see so many clips. I don't hate Arsenal, Brandon. I don't hate him at all. You have been misled. That's all I can tell you. I don't even know says, I do spend time researching politics and I find it all lies. Well, not all of it is lies. That's the crazy bit about politics. Not all of it is lies, but some of it is. And the bits that are and aren't are generally a bit indistinguishable. So it's difficult to know the fact from the fiction. And yeah, as Gamer Guru says, as an ex-pub landlord, you should never talk politics. I didn't know you were an ex-pub landlord, mate. Look at you. Buzzy Muntu says, your engaging personality and passion for football compelled me to follow your channel. Despite having a different perspective on Slot as a Liverpool fan, hope to visit South Africa one day. Me? I'd love to, yeah, I'd love to. Love to do maybe a safari or something, I don't know. Don't know if my wife would be all that intrigued, but hey, there you go. Half-time, yes, half-time. Do you think Tchouaméni will be in the Prem? I do. I think Tchouaméni will be in the Prem next year. Sam says he doesn't hate Arsenal, he just doesn't want us to win. Pretty normal from a rival fan. And Francesco, have you watched more Arsenal games than Liverpool games this season? No. I've missed pretty much... Well, I've not missed any Liverpool games. I've watched every single one of them. Arsenal games, I don't know how many I've missed, but I've missed quite a few. Yeah. Trump would hate Arsenal. We'd make him more sleepy than he already is. Halftime quiz. Yes, we do have a halftime quiz. We do have a halftime quiz. Put up a sign that says, I do not hate Arsenal, and put it up for all to see. I might have to put it behind me here. Yeah. Right. Halftime quiz. Hang on. Not that one. Not that one. It's this one. There you go. That's our halftime quiz. You won't be able to see it on TikTok, sorry, but you'll be able to... I'll read it out. It's the top 30 current Premier League players with the most career Premier League goals. Exactly. Yes, North End. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Montesut says Key doesn't hate Arsenal, he just enjoys a sickening amount of schadenfreude when things don't go Arsenal's way. Not Henry, no, not Shearer. You're missing, no. Current Welsh wing, current Premier League players with the most career Premier League goals. Top 30 current Premier League players. Robbie Fowler. Haaland is second. Salah is first. Salah has 193. Haaland has 110. Watkins, Isak, Richarlison. Watkins is 6th with 86. Richarlison is 8th with 74. Isak is... Isak is 14th. There you go. Saka. Yep, Saka's there. 60 Premier League goals for Bukayo Saka. Bruno Fernandes is there with 70. Tierno Barry, no. Chris Wood. Chris Wood is 4th with 92. Very close to 100 Premier League goals, Chris Wood. Sterling, no. He's not in the Prem anymore. Jesus is 7th with 78. Yep. Sesko, no. Raul Jimenez. Good shout. Jimenez is 11th with 68. Gakpo. Not Gakpo. No, Gakpo's not quite there. Semenyo, again, not quite there. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is 10th with 69. Son Heung-min, no longer in the Premier League shell. Silva, you said. Bernardo Silva is 24th with 45. We're doing the top 30 current Premier League players with the most career Premier League goals. Given we were watching 2 Premier League sides, I thought we'd keep it current. Keep it current. Cunha is not there. Jared Bowen, though, is. He is 13th with 64. Mateta. Mateta's a great answer. Well done. Yeah, Mateta's there. This charming Dan. He is 21st. James Milner is another shout from Welsh Wing. That's 16th. He's 56 Premier League goals. Not Pedro. Richarlison we've got. Foden. Phil Foden is 12th with 68. Henderson, Xhaka, Ashley Young. Xhaka, no. Henderson, no, believe it or not. Ashley Young is not in the Prem anymore. He's retired, in fact. And Burmo's 20th with 51. Rodri, no. Ahmad, no. John McGinn. John McGinn, no, not John McGinn. Ollie Watkins we've got. João Pedro. João Pedro's not there. No, not Morgan Rogers. Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck is 5th with 90. You've still got a couple more at the top end that you've not yet got. Calvert-Lewin was there. Yes. You've got Bernardo Silva. You've got Mateta and Burmo, Milner, Saka, Bowen, Isak, Foden, Jimenez, Calvert-Lewin, Bruno Fernandes, Richarlison, Jesus, Watkins, Welbeck, Chris Wood, Haaland, and Salah. Not Nketiah. No, not Morgan Gibbs-White. Not Iliman Ndiaye, not Harry Maguire. Solanke and Tammy Abraham. Solanke is 29th with 41. Tammy Abraham is not there. Havertz. Havertz is 26th with 42. Callum Wilson, Pedro Elanga, no. Callum Wilson, sorry, yes. Callum Wilson is 3rd with 94. Ashley Barnes, good shout. Ashley Barnes, 27 with 42. Anthony Gordon, no, not Anthony Gordon. Doesn't quite sneak into the top 30. Eddie Shreen, you've got the personality of a lettuce, mate. Well, it's quite a good lettuce, I'd like to say. At least it's a nice lettuce. Shredded lettuce. Brennan Johnson, not Brennan Johnson, no. Gyökeres, no. Not Bernardo Silva. Bowen, yes. Gabriel Martinelli is 30th with 41. Bowen we've already got. Watkins again, ole ole. Danny Ings not in the Prem anymore, Adam. Cole Palmer, yes. Cole Palmer's 23rd with 46. Declan Rice not in there, but there is an Arsenal player in there that you're missing. There's Harvey Barnes, correct. Let us all be friends. Oh, that's beautiful. Brings a tear to my eye. Gibbs White, no. Anderson, no. Not Scott McTominay, also not in the Prem. Trossard, Adam, well done. Trossard is there. There's another Arsenal player as well. Callum Wilson we've got. Lettuce is a crisp. It's crisp and fresh. Yeah, crisp and fresh. Maybe it was a compliment. A veiled compliment. Not Gabriel, not Sarr, no. Eze. Eze is 25th with 42. So you've currently got 1, 2, 3, 4 left to get. You've got 26 out of 30. And the players you've got so far are Martinelli, Solanke, Ashley Barnes, Havertz, Eze, Bernardo Silva, Cole Palmer, Mateta and Burmo, Trossard, Harvey Barnes, Milner, Saka, Bowen, Foden, Isak, Jimenez, Calvert-Lewin, Bruno Fernandes, Richarlison, Jesus, Watkins, Welbeck, Wood, Wilson, Haaland and Salah. 4 left to get. Not Kudus. No, not Saliba, not Zubamendi. What's the question? The question is right there. Not Odegaard. The Arsenal player Tom Daly. You've got a Newcastle player. You've got a West Ham player. A Spurs player. And a player who's just been relegated. That might give you a couple of clues. Not Smith Rowe. Bruno Fernandes we've already got. Not Jacob Murphy. Not Harry Wilson. Not Rodri. Not Bruno Guimaraes, not Gordon. Wissa. Johan Wissa, 46 Premier League goals. Yeah, he's been scoring pretty consistently at Brentford. Not really netting all that much at Newcastle, but he's there. You got a West Ham player, a Spurs player, and a player who's just been relegated. These are the three that's left. Maddison, good lad, Egbert. Yep. Maddison is 17th with 56 Premier League goals. Not Iwobi, not Willock. Not the Brazilian forward at Fulham. No. Not Guimaraes, not Larson. No. Surely not Conor Gallagher. It's not. No. Gav's Travels. I saw you hating Arsenal again, then cheering City drawing, but no Arsenal hate. That's nice, Gav. Souček, well done. Yes, Souček is the West Ham player. Scored quite a lot for them. And not a Rockadari. Jesus is already there. No, the only player you've got left is a player who's just been relegated. It's a relegated player. Will the relegated player be changing teams? I suspect he might, yes. Ward-Prowse, there you go, James Ward-Prowse. That is your top 30 current Premier League players with the most career Premier League goals. Martinelli, Solanke, Souček, Ashley Barnes, Havertz, Eze, Bernardo Silva, Palmer, Wissa, Mateta and Burmo, Trossard, Harvey Barnes, Maddison, Milner, Ward-Prowse, Saka, Bowen, Foden, Jimenez, Calvert-Lewin, Bruno Fernandes, Richarlison, Jesus Watkins, Welbeck, Wood, Wilson, Haaland and Salah. There you go. Right. Let's get back to the chat. That's killed a bit of time, hasn't it? Not Hwang. No, not Hwang. Not Hwang Hee-chan. I don't know how many goals Hwang Hee-chan has scored. Let's have a look at see how many goals Hwang Hee-chan has in the Premier League. He has 22. 22 Premier League goals. Well, 27 actually. And the number 30 on this list has 41. What's that on Twitch? Sorry, keyword was Isaac in this list. He was just in between Saka and Ward-Prowse. I think he's got 57 by my count. So he's nearly up to Saka's level. Yeah. Nearly Saka's level. B Snow, what would you say is the most popular US sport over there in the UK? The most popular US sport in the UK? What would we say, chat? Most popular US sport here in the UK? I mean, I'd say, if we consider, I guess I'd say basketball. Basketball's quite popular over here, and it's growing in popularity. I mean, you've kind of got to be genetically chosen to be a basketball player, haven't you? Something, I didn't know how true this was until I was told it by someone who later became a basketball player. There was a lad who was born about a mile down the road from me, and he's 7 foot something, 7'2" or something like that. He was in the year above me at school. And he went on, I think he plays it, I don't know if he still does, maybe I don't know if he's retired now or what, I don't know how long basketball players play for, but he'll be in his 30s now. And yeah, he said something, he got told once, that if you're over 7 foot tall, wherever you're born in the world, if you're an over 7 foot tall male, you have got something like a 30% chance or something like that. It's like a ridiculous percentage chance of being a professional basketball player, irrespective of what path you choose. Like, just height alone will get you there, kind of thing. I'm sure there's still ability and like skill required. I'm just saying, like, that was a big factor, and he became a professional basketball player. NBA, soccer ball. Yeah, WWE. Are we considering that a sport? I don't mind. I mean, I wouldn't say WWE is a sport. It's not really a sport. It's entertainment, isn't it? Clues in the name. NFL. UFC, most popular by a mile. Is UFC? Yeah, but is UFC American? Is that an American sport? It's not something I'd consider American. Lacrosse. Yeah, Richard Lionheart, lacrosse. I used to work with a guy who played lacrosse. I think he was captain of like some lacrosse team in Manchester. Nice fella as well. Mad Pup says ice hockey was at a game the other week in Glasgow. It was packed. LeBron is 41. Netball for men. Are you live for the Man City game, Key? I am, mate. Yes, I'll be live for that one on Saturday night. Ryan Yates coming on here. Captain for Forest. Ryan Yates coming on for McAtee. Just a bit of steel in that midfield. I think Vítor Pereira is not quite happy with maybe the legs in midfield, and Ryan Yates will definitely do that. 7'3", and you can't teach that. NFL, according to Google, 1.3 or 13 million followers and 4 million viewers in the UK. Wow, there you go. WWE definitely isn't a sport, and I'm a big fan. Yeah, my best mate would consider himself a big WWE fan as well. I've not watched it in about 20 years. So I don't know who any of the wrestlers are now, to be honest. User 638. All right, Key, how's it going, lad? Brandon, who do you think's winning the Champions League? I think PSG. Yeah, I think PSG are going to win the Champions League, but I do think Arsenal win the Prem. Jellyfish, skill is needed. Johnson had everything, but his determination was unmatched. Imagine Bournemouth in the Champions League, says Egbert. Hey, I'm sure there'll be a rogue team in the Champions League, assuming Villa, if Villa go on and win this and finish 5th, we're going to get a rogue side in the Champions League because Chelsea aren't finishing 6th, are they? That's not happening. Okay. There's Prince William. There's our future king in the stands at Villa Park. Big Villa fan, don't you know? Cheers, Sporting FC. Yeah, I've sorted it, mate. This charming Dan Key, do you reckon any of the any players from the already relegated teams get Premier League moves this summer? If so, yes. And who do you think and where do you think they'll go? That kid Mane looks like he could be quality. Yeah, I'd say from Wolves, you're looking at Mane. You're looking at Gomez in midfield. I think is one that many people will take a look at. I think there's possibly a couple of others that they might take a chance on at Wolves. I guess it depends. Like, Krejci's not a bad player who's gone in there. The guy who plays like centre-back or centre-mid. He's not a bad player for him. He might be moving on. I think Burnley, honestly, I mean, Florentino might move on. He might be one of them that... Like, I remember... Do you remember Idrissa Gana Gueye? Idrissa Gana Gueye played for Aston Villa the year they got relegated, and he was god-awful. Villa fans were like, he's dreadful. He's shocking. Everton signed him for about 6 million quid, ended up playing, like... He became one of the best CDMs in the Premier League, certainly. Earned a move to PSG, went there, did really well. Come back to the Premier League, and even now, still at 36, 37, whatever he is. Still one of the best around, isn't he, Idrissa Gana Gueye? So there's quite a few, I think, at Burnley as well that might, maybe Florentino could be one, Ugachukwu another one, who could make the step into a role like that. They could be like a short-term fix. Florentino was an experienced Champions League player before he went to Burnley, played regularly for Benfica, and there was talk of Liverpool looking at him, there was talk of United looking at him. He's gone to Burnley, it hasn't quite worked out for him. Same as Ugachukwu, I guess. Madhouse, who's your favourite Queen, Key? Queen Latifah, by some distance. Key's my favourite, madhouse. Right, basketball's the sport I enjoy playing the most. Grew up short playing it and then became very tall in high school. The NBA has fallen off for me as a viewer, though I still enjoy college basketball. It does fascinate me that how, like, they watch college football and college basketball and college sports in the US. Like, they'll watch the University of Notre Dame in college. It's the college playoffs, and it baffles me, but hey, fair play. I guess it's like us watching the championship, I guess. Gamer Guru, I can't watch a sport that takes 3 days to play and can end up in a draw, hence why cricket ain't my thing. Crystal Palace 2, Shakhtar 1. The Undertaker's still in it. Shay says, can't wait for the Key Thomas files to be released. I'll be there day one. The Key Thomas files. Key Thomas Island. I wish there was an island for me. I wish. I'll be quite happy with Mallorca in the summer. An Island in the Sun. What a song that was, by the way. Weezer. Island in the Sun. Key, how would it feel watching Arsenal win the double before Liverpool? Talking doubles, that happened after you were born. How would it feel watching Arsenal win the double? It wouldn't really matter. Yeah, good luck to them. If they win it, good luck to them. It's about time. What about the boat race? No. Nathan, how's it going, lads? Key, if you were on death row and were sentenced to death, what would be your last meal? Probably a curry. Yeah, probably a curry. What's everyone else's? Go on. Seeing as we're drifting off into we're only 5 minutes into the second half, but we're only 1-0. It's not been the best game, has it? Oh. Pau Torres, not happy with Ryan Yates. Little bit of afters there. Bread says cook. You'd want to cook. Why would you want to cook? If you're on death row, mate, you don't have to cook. No, they'll make it for you if you're on death row. John Brady, kebab. I guess it doesn't matter if your arteries are getting clogged up with kebab meat, then it doesn't really matter, does it, I guess? If you go into old Sparky. Egbert says it's so annoying to see Arsenal win the Champions League because that's the only thing that separates them from United, City, Liverpool, Chelsea. Chelsea will still be a bigger side than Arsenal, even if they win it. Bread and water. CG, how long have you supported us Gunners for? Oh, only 18 months or so. I supported City before that, and then United pretty much before that, and then Liverpool for a while when they were good, and then kind of I switched because they weren't that good, so I just went back and, yeah. Got a bit of a Barca fan as well. PSG fan at the minute as well, so, yeah, I have different sides in different places. I shouldn't say all this, should I? Because some sad sack will clip it up and go, see, he said it, he's got 9 teams. Bryce says it's funny to see UK people in amazement about our love for college sports. I love watching Brits react to college football stadiums. They're huge, aren't they? Yeah, my mate went to, what was it now? He was in New York. He was in some college, he went to university in New York. One of my best mates. And the stadium was huge. Yeah, stadium was massive. It's another yellow card for the coaching staff here. Vítor Pereira is having to control his coaching staff, much like Unai Emery did in the first half. There's nothing wrong with that. Steak and chips and McFlurry. Chinese Peking duck chicken. Chow mein, curry sauce and portion of chicken balls. CG, watching the Villa game? I am, mate, yes. Yeah, watching the Villa game. It's 1-0 to Aston Villa, currently Ollie Watkins with the goal. Dana Greeky, no to the boat race. Rather watch the National. See, do you know what? I've changed my view on the National over the years. I have started to slide a little bit more towards, it's a bit cruel, innit? It is cruel. And I was never like that. I've been to Aintree and I've been to Chester and I've done the whole day out at the races and it's great fun and I'm sure they do get looked after. But it is cruel, innit? They do, you know, it does seem a little bit unnecessary. So I have, and again, without veering into politics again, and it's a bit heavy, but yeah, I'm kind of, as I'm getting older, I think I'm sliding a little bit more down towards that end of thinking that actually, I'm not sure I'd want to go and back it. And then I'm a hypocrite because I'm sure I've probably backed a nag at some point in the last month or so. I've probably put something on. Adam says it's not cruel though. They want to do it. Look how many times a jockey falls off. The horse still runs the whole way around on its own. No, and listen, I know. I'm not saying I don't know enough about it. I'm sure they are looked after, and that's kind of the argument for it, isn't it? They're treated like athletes and they're looked after the best ever, and that's great. I get that, but then you know you also see them doing it, and it's a bit like, oh, it's a bit grim. you know what it is? I just love animals. I've no problem. Not like that. I'm not Keith Lard before anyone starts. But I do. I love animals and I don't want to see any animals getting hurt. CG, what do you think of the Real Madrid situation at the minute? Yeah, mad traumatic brain injury according to what Fabrizio Romano's just published. Valverde is going to miss the Clasico with a traumatic brain injury. North End, it's cruel, and then Scran's a Chinese bosh. Madhouse never liked thinking what happens to so many horses and greyhounds after they're finished. And Dan says, heavy talking, Mr. Key. It is. I'm trying to steer clear of it, but they pull me back in, as Al Pacino said. Tongue tickler. What's happening to Tchouaméni then? What's happening to Tchouaméni? I imagine Tchouaméni's going to get forced out the club, and I imagine he'll be a Premier League player. Claim for a penalty. I tell you what. That's a pen, innit? That's a pen. That is a pen. I'm sorry. That is a penalty. I think that could be a penalty for Villa. That has got to be a pen. I tell you what, 3-star, I'd be worried. I think it's going to be a penalty. Is he going to go and have a look at it? Wow. CG says, personally, don't see Madrid turning up. Barca could win the league here. Yeah, they will. They'll wrap it up. It's a pen, and it is going to be a pen. The referee's going and having a look at it. I tell you what, it's so silly, this. So silly. Oh, it's dreadful. It's soft, but it is a pen. It just is a pen. It's one of them. It's a questionable decision in football. You know, we see players' shirts pulled all the time. Penalty given. We see players' shirts pulled all the time. But how much of a shirt pull is enough for a penalty? Milenkovic, again. It's a penalty to Villa. Penalty for Villa, and it's about to be 2-0. If they're not careful, Forest, this tie could get away from them. Oh, it's just silly. So silly. Yeah, it goes down easy, but the shirt pull means it's a pen all day. Stupid from Milenkovic. Can we get a check on that, sir? Can we get a check on that, sir, please? Joseph, up the Villa, get in. You're rooting for that 6th Champions League spot, you, Joe, aren't you? It's not happening. You're not getting 6th. Not a chance. Put your passport away. Here we go. Penalty to Villa. Ortega versus... Is it Tielemans going to take it? No, it's Buendia. He's been Villa's best player in recent weeks. Scored a wonderful header against Spurs the other day. Bit of an underrated player, Buendia. Right-footed. Buendia v Ortega. Bottom corner. 2-0 Villa. 2-1 Villa on aggregate. And Villa, as it stands, are heading to Istanbul. Whoa. How's about that then? Villa in front. Definite pen. He's a friggin' idiot, Milenkovic, says 3-star. There you go. Even the Forest fans acknowledge it was a pen. I think it was, to be honest. It definitely was a shirt pull. Just silly from Milenkovic. And again, it's maybe characteristic of the type of defending we've seen from Forest tonight. Not good. Just sloppy all round, really. Could there be a pitch invasion of Key if they do this? Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, maybe. Was for Arsenal, wasn't there, last night? As good as. Can't really argue with the decision. It was silly. Oh, how the turntables. Ronaldo. Key, I've not watched you in a while. Yeah, I was going to say, mate, it's been a while since we've seen you. How are you doing? Broken verdict, Bournemouth more likely to get 6th. Would like to see Brighton or Bournemouth go to the Champions League. Key, can Liverpool beat that trash Chelsea team? Chelsea aren't going to fit. Listen, Chelsea are already thinking about the FA Cup. It's the only way they get Europe. Is by beating City in that FA Cup. Hiya, Dylan. That's it. 2-1. Oh, how the turntables. Villa winning it for Aussie. Thank you very much, Dean. Appreciate the gift. What's your favourite Aussie song, seeing as we're watching Villa? Oh, fantastic. Yeah, what's your favourite Sabbath song or Aussie song? Football's gone soft, says Carl. Why has it gone soft? Did you not think that was a pen? I'm astonished. How do you not think that was a pen? Prince Willie's going to storm the pitch at full time. As is tradition. Who's that fella who used to say, how's about that then? Never heard. Don't know who you're talking about. Turned out nice again. Aussie solo or Sabbath, whatever you want. Any. Let's be creative. You can say whatever you want. Crazy Train, great shout. Yeah. War Pig, any of them. War Pigs, yeah. Paranoid. I do like Paranoid. Yeah, Paranoid's great. I actually quite like Over the Mountain. I don't know if that was with Sabbath or if it was solo. Villa are in. Could be 3. It is 3. Is it going to count? Offside, Ollie Watkins. Oh, War Pigs, Iron Man, both very good. NIB, Crystal Palace. Yeah, Crystal Palace are winning against Shakhtar. They are. And Reece says, there's only Villa shown up here in the first hour. Very underwhelmed by Forest tonight. Bit disappointed, isn't it, given how Forest have been in the last couple of weeks, the way they played against Chelsea and the way they've been really good recently. Very disappointing. Sabbath, NIB, solo, far too many. Cracking fella, wasn't he? Take What You Want featuring Post Malone. Carl says it's a pretty soft penalty in my opinion. Well, we've got Forest fans in the chat saying that it was a penalty and it was silly from Milenkovic. Here's Morgan Gibbs-White, complete with 2 black eyes. He's got full-on panda makeup here, Morgan Gibbs-White. Looks like he has been absolutely clattered, hasn't he, to be fair to him. But Morgan Gibbs-White about to come on for Forest. They're pulling the emergency break glass in case of emergency lever. Forest are playing their trump card. I was about to do it again. I keep working up the courage to do the Trump impression. Dan says, why don't we do favourite football song or tune ever? Mine's World in Motion. Yeah. Favourite football song? Anfield Rap. World in Motion. 3 lions on a shirt. Villa strike! McGinn should do better there. Massive chance for John McGinn. Huge chance to make it 3-0. Morgan Gibbs-White, yeah, you should see the other guy. Bezzy, good to see you, mate. You should see Liverpool. Have you seen Liverpool linked with Barcola this evening, Key? All over X. What do you make of that? I don't mind Barcola, and I think he would be a good signing for the right price. I think he's got ability, and I think he deserves better than being sat on the bench at PSG behind Doué and Kvara and Dembele. And he's got ability, hasn't he? But I do draw the line at paying... Apparently Leipzig want 90 million quid for Jan Diamand. I don't know how much PSG would want for Barcola by the same logic, because he's still a young player, Barcola. He's not quite as young as Diamand. But he's still a young player, and he's got a lot more experience. I just wonder, is Barcola going to cost in the same region? And have Liverpool got the appetite to pay 180 million for 2 wingers? I'm not sure. Have you read about all the stuff going on at Madrid? Yeah, we've been chatting about it tonight, mate. Valverde with a traumatic brain injury. Jellyfish says Villa are a different team tonight, full of energy. Gamer Guru, Gibbs White being out ain't helping. Forest need to change things around fast to salvage this. Hutchinson, far post. Header. Too easy, that. Too easy. North End Views, Bittersweet Symphony. Reminds me of watching England as a kid. What's that song called? Fifth Element, Sweet Harmony? I don't know why it reminds. It's not really a football song, but it played. It was on a game in like 97 or 98, and it was the menu music for, I think it was Premier Manager, like 1998, and it was groundbreaking. It was like Championship Manager, but for the PlayStation. It was called Premier Manager, and it was wicked. It was absolutely wicked. And that had, I think it's Fifth Element. John McGinn's just dove in there. Might be a yellow card for Villa, possibly. Egbert says Inter wants a Kandri for 23 million. Ronaldo the GOAT. Who's the best player who's never played in the Prem? Ronaldinho. This charming Dan, I like Bar Cola, but I prefer Panda Cola instead. Vampy 789, Michael Owen interview today at Chester Races saying Liverpool should go for Bowen. Yes, that would be fantastic. I think we should go for that. I'd love Jarrod Bowen at Liverpool, but it'd be a fantastic signing. Jay Cartman, Premier Manager 98, that's it. Never be another like it. I'm glad you... Yes, look at us bonding. By Pierre Van Hooydonk, can you win the title? Yeah, and it was that song, wasn't it? It was that song. AC/DC have an old football tune called Big Balls. Is that AC/DC, man? That Hills Bills coming in there. That kicks in with a guitar there. That's Hills Bills, man. Clubfoot, yeah, Clubfoot. That was on Pro Evo and FIFA, that one, wasn't it? LSF as well by Kasabian. Kasabian, a great band. They did loads of football songs. Nathan says, I'd rather have Diamand than Barcola. Fair enough. Who would you... If you don't... Listen, there's lots of Arsenal fans talking about who they want to sign this summer. Who are Arsenal's, like, must-haves for the summer? Because I don't really know what Arsenal are missing. Squad-wise, if their intent is to keep playing this way, they're kind of pretty perfectly set up for it. And I don't think there's anyone really going to leave Arsenal that they'll miss. Like, I thought Lewis Skelly might, but it might maybe Zubamendi might go. I don't know. Can't beat a bit of Vindaloo. Gamer Guru says only one Fifth Element, and it's the Bruce Willis film with the space opera with the blue dreadlock lady busting some crazy moves. Is it not? It's Sweet Harmony song, but who sang it? Sweet Harmony song. Was it The Beloved? It's The Beloved. It's not Fifth Element. It's The Beloved. It's just like you'll know the music. You'll definitely know the music. You might not know the song, but you'll definitely know the music. Richard says Messi has highest goal contribution rate against Prem top 6 per game than Ronaldo without ever playing in the Prem. Wow. Morgan Gibbs White literally looks like Chucky at this point. James Gallagher, who have you got for Celtic Rangers game on Sunday? I think it might be a draw, and that might just be enough for Hearts to win the league, to be honest. Noddy, Arsenal's main is a left winger. Do you think you're going to move on Trossard and Martinelli? And if you do go for a left winger, who do you want? Who do you think's the type of left winger that Arsenal need? PSG's left winger whose name I can't pronounce. You're not going to go and get Kvaratskhelia. Come on. Let's be serious about this. There's no way Arsenal go and get Kvaratskhelia. Gamer Guru says Alvarez and another right back as I see Ben White stepping down next season. We need more competition for Timber. So Alvarez comes in. Who's that replacing? You're getting rid of who? Havertz, Jesus, both, all, Gyökeres? Anyone? All of the above? Our lot after a charity knighthood from our future king watching his team taking the piss against us. Seems like it. Seems like they've thrown in the collective towel tonight, mate. It's not been a great performance from Forest at all. Still 25 to go. So a long, long way to go and maybe time for them to turn it round. Forest about to bring on... Is it Looker? Oh, he's a big lump, this fella, isn't he? Oh, this is not a good sign. This is a sign of him maybe knocking it long, I guess. Nathan could see Tom Hanks at the final. Yeah, another Villa fan. Bezzy, what does Sweet Harmony go like, Key? Freiburg 3, Braga 0. What does Sweet Harmony go like? I can't say it. I know I can't do it. I was trying to get the courage up then to do it, but I can't do it. Just YouTube it. Mr. Al-Shammari says, we're going to have a new Europa League champion this year. Villa and Forest have won the Champions League before, but never the Europa League. Freiburg and Braga haven't won either. And Freiburg are pretty much in the final now. 3-0 up and a man up against Braga in Germany. Gamer Guru, Jesus will be moved on. Havertz could be happy with being a backup as he has had injury issues lately. So you're going to keep Gyökeres, Havertz and maybe Alvarez. Do you think that's your front three for one position next year? Doesn't quite ring true, does it? I can't see a world in which Arsenal go and spend 80, 90 million on a third choice centre forward. Oh, what a ball. I think he's offside. Forest are in though. Chance, terrible finish. And I think he was onside. No, now he's offside. Now he's offside according to the linesman. Oh, goodness me. Forest was worth a try. I'm not getting shy. I'm just kind of... I was trying to do the trade-off between, like... Because I'll sing. I'm not bothered. I've sung many times on here before. I've got a dreadful voice. I mean, I'm not going to do too much. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing the, like... I'm not doing all that. But I don't mind singing. I sing in the car. Sing in the shower. Same as everyone else. But I'm not singing Sweet Harmony by The Beloved. Because it requires a certain octave that I am not prepared to go to as a 36-year-old dad. Havertz, 2 years left on his deal, needs to be sold, but he's on mega wages. And Bryce says, Key, what would you think of not awarding a point for a 0-0 draw? That way you push teams to try and score and not just sit back. Any other draw gets a point, but 0-0 you get nothing. See, no, I would like a different scoring process. I think if you have 0-0s, you don't get a point for it. I get that. I would rather the goal scoring, the point scoring process changes to maybe something like if you win a game by more than 2 goals, you get an extra point. And if you lose a game by more than 2 goals, no, maybe you don't lose a point, but maybe if you win a game by 2 goals or more, you get an extra point. So it will push teams on to go and get another goal and another goal. Or 3. Maybe it's 3. Maybe if you win a game by 3 goals, you get an extra point. So you're always going to keep pushing. Villa in the area. Chance. Oh, just wide. Come on, lad. Belt it out. Gamer Guru, prove the doubters wrong and sing North London Forever. I've done that one as well. I've sang North London Forever many times on here. Maybe recreate the music video. I don't know what the music video looks like. It's just a guy doing this, I think, on stage, from what I can see on... Oh, that's the Top of the Pops performance. Karaoke. Love that. Charming Dan Key, if you start singing, you know it'll get clipped up on YouTube. God. It's so hard, you know. It's so hard switching from an environment where I've never, ever had to be... You'd think... Because I remember watching... Goldbridge or whoever doing watchalongs, right? Exactly as you are now watching me. Well, that sounded really ironic. I'm not comparing myself to them in any way, but you know what I'm saying. Hopefully you know the point I'm getting to here. I was in the chat watching, and I had a 9 to 5 like anyone else. And then It's mad to now think like you've got to literally forensically think about what you're going to say because it will exist forever. Like you can't, there's no like I misspoke there or I meant to say this. That doesn't work anymore. You're on the internet, lad. You clipped out of context. That's you done. So yeah, it's a very unforgiving place. And for someone like me who will talk word vomit until I make sense, it's quite a dangerous place, I think, the internet. Brendan says Goldbridge is a sellout trying to make United stand into Timu AFTV. Do you know what though, mate? Good luck to... Nah, come on. Like, at the end of the day, he's a bloke who's built something massive and he's made a fortune off it. Good luck to him. Like, genuinely, if I'm a pound behind the guy, not even a pound, if I make 1% of what he does, I'll be made up. Good luck to him. He's lived the dream. He's watching football for a living. What a lad. Fair play to him. However he's doing it, good luck to him. Good luck to him. Maybe I wouldn't do what he'd done. Maybe I'd have disagreed with some things, but good luck to him. Certainly no gripes from me. He needs a nice hot Lancashire hot pot to relax him. Before I sing... Jellyfish, me and me mum and me dad and me... Oh, God. Key says, got a question for you, Key. Why don't you ever wear a football shirt? Why don't I ever wear a football... I have worn football shirts. I have worn them on here. I have, but it's like few and far between. Yeah, why don't I ever wear a football shirt? I don't know. I guess, do you not think you just get to a point... Like, I'd probably wear it, like, one round the house. Or I am that guy. I am that guy, by the way. Like, my missus, if she's going on holiday, or we're going on holiday, let's say. If we're going on holiday, and, like, I am that guy who will pack 10 pairs of shorts, 10 football shirts, maybe a nice shirt if we're going on a night out kind of thing. But, like, that's me. That's me for an holiday. 10 footy shirts, pair of flip-flops, mouthwash, any other, like, chargers, and then, yeah, 10 footy shirts, couple of pairs of shoes, flip-flops, couple of shorts, 10 pairs of shorts, whatever, and in you go. Will says, Key, I'm calling it. Forest nick it in extra time. Steve says, got to agree, Key. I'd love to watch footy for a living. That's it. It literally, this is my attempt at living his dream. He has paved the way. I am walking through his path, and if I do even a fraction of what I'll be made up. I'll be delighted. To be honest, I'm delighted where I am now. Never thought it'd be this good. It's not that good even now, but you know what I mean. I'm made up with it. Look at what we've got. Look at how cool we've got. I get to watch footy with you lovely people. I'm kind of happy with that. Steve McNair, got to agree. I'd love to watch footy for a living. He wore a Senegal shirt. I did, yes. Villa, chance, McGinn. It's third. It's 3-0, and that's going to be that. That is going to be that. 77 minutes on the clock. Villa are going to the final. Forest are done. There's no way they're scoring 2 in the next 15. They've been an absolute shell of themselves tonight, Forest. It's been a shocking performance. Wow. Goodness gracious me. What a finish that was from John McGinn. Really, really good. Just rolled the ball to his right-hand side and then he just walks onto it. Again, who passes it to him here? Who sets it up? Again, Forest, just a little bit flat. That's too easy, that, for one ball over the top. That's so easy. So easy. Watkins lays it off. McGinn with the strike. 2-1. Sorry, 3-0, not 2-1. 3-0. And that might well be game, set, and match. I can't see Forest turning this round now. Will says, so does this mean if they win the Europa League and Villa finish 5th, Champions League goes to 6th? Yes, it does. Villa finishing 5th and winning the Europa League does mean, yes, factually, that 6th gets the Champions League, which means Bournemouth, Brighton, Brentford could be Champions League teams next year. Whoa! This charming Dan says, Key, yeah, the internet is a bit like family and close friends. It never forgets any bad shit you've said or done. Must be weird seeing yourself getting clipped up on YouTube. It is. It's mad. It's more so when, like... And again, it's like... I hear this word, these words about to come out my mouth, and I feel cringe even before they've come out, which shows you that I'm still not like that guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not... Oh, look at him, big Mr. Big Boots, Bobby Big Boots here. Never would ever be my family would never let me get like that, ever in a million years. But it's still mad and mega embarrassing. I've been recognised like 3 times, and it's mad, crazy. And I kind of hope it stays about that level. I don't want it. I don't. It's not that I don't love it. It's always nice. They've always been nice, but it's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Villa, chance for 4. Oh, it's 4. It's McGinn. It's an absolute belting goal from McGinn, and I think that really is it now. Forest. Oh, it's the worst way to lose a semi-final. It's an absolute hammering. Villa have smashed it in. 4-0. Good grief. Wow. Prince William. That is absolutely sensational stuff, that. 3-star, I'm really sorry for you, mate. That's a gutting way to exit Europe. Bezzy says, I would never wear a football jersey. Look at this. As the ball gets... It's a fabulous finish. You just can't really fault John McGinn. Opens his body up, gives the keeper the eyes, rolls it into the near post. Rodgers with the assist this time. And, oh... Just an absolutely splendid finish, that, from John McGinn. Not any Arsenal shirt. No, definitely not any Arsenal shirt. Well, that's that. Where was this effort against Spurs? Yeah. West Ham fans might be wondering the same. Shahid says the main thing, Forest will be in the Premier League next season, 3-star. That's it, yeah. I don't know how he does it, but Unai Emery in the Europa League, man. I am gutted, but on reflection, it's what we've deserved. It's just not been a performance tonight from Forest. Like, every single player on the pitch has been really underwhelming. It's mad because you rested so many. But yeah, look at Morgan Gibbs-White there. You can tell how gutted they are, the Forest players. Huge opportunity and 4-0. Wow. Villa sailing into the final. Thank God we got Premier League safety sorted. That's true enough, yes. Michael says, I bet Forest now regret not staying in the Europa League instead of the Conference League they were originally qualified for. Palace now going into the final of the European Conference League, yeah, and probably win it, and maybe we'll be in the Europa League next season. Big rumours today, by the way, about Andoni Iraola becoming next Palace manager. Bryce says, got a championship game tomorrow. I believe this is the first playoff game I'll watch. It is, yes. Well, it'll be, well, I assume, yeah. Hull against Millwall tomorrow. 3-star. Oh, well, we go again next season and hopefully get Europe again through the league. And still, hopefully you'll give United a game at Old Trafford and prevent the 5 games in a row. Hopefully that's what happens. It's 5 games. We can't have United winning 5 games in a row. We need to make sure that he doesn't get his head shaved. Brendan says, what's your plans for the World Cup? For the World Cup, I will be doing 81 fixtures live right here across 39 days. It is a grueling schedule. I am completely reworking my sleep pattern for it. Starting the 1st of June, I've got a whole sleep schedule mapped out. So I've got to start going to bed later and later and later, to the point where I am going to bed at 6 in the morning, 6 a.m, and waking up about 2, 3 in the afternoon, ready for a big night shift through to 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. So, yeah, that's my plan for the World Cup. I'll be live for pretty much every single game right here. The only ones that I'm going to miss are the final group stage games. So, yeah, the final group stage games obviously play simultaneously. So we'll decide which ones are going to be the right ones to do. Which ones have the most jeopardy. North End Views says 10 years ago, Forest were nowhere to be seen playing the likes of Preston, so it's not all doom and gloom. It's definitely 1,000,000%. It's progress for Forest, isn't it? Michael says, why would Iraola become Palace manager if it looks likely that Bournemouth might get Champions League football next season? Well, Andoni Iraola has not signed a new contract at Bournemouth. He has, he's decided to leave, and Bournemouth have appointed former Leipzig manager Marco Rose. So Marco Rose is the new Bournemouth manager, and Iraola is being linked today heavily with, apparently, again, how true it is we don't know yet, but yeah, being linked with the Crystal Palace job. Will, I'm not following you with your sleep schedule. Well, like, listen, if you ever wake up in the middle of the night and there's a game on and you think, oh, I wonder if there is anything on, I'll go and check. I'll be there. I'm doing Egypt against Iran at 4 a.m. At the end of June. Key's going to be staying up late with the boys. That's it. All night. Lads. Price says, from what I've seen, no one is happy about it being in the US. Surely we're gaining enough knowledge of the sport to be able to host. I don't think there's not really too much of an issue with it being hosted in the US. I think, well, there is actually, isn't there? Yeah, there's a lot of, obviously, a lot of it's political. Mexico and Canada. I think if it was just being held in Mexico and Canada, there'd maybe be less said. But yeah, US is a very polarizing, hot button issue at the minute for a lot of people politically, and perhaps understandably in some cases. And concern about prices and concern about safety and all that sort of stuff. But there's always concern, as Ultra Non-Gamer says, people never like who the hosts are. That's also true. Yeah, there's always concerns. Whenever there's a World Cup being held anywhere. It was like that at Qatar, wasn't it? It was like that at Russia. You know, are people going to be safe in those places? Is it going to be too hot? I remember even in the South Korea, Japan, it was also, you know, people being able to get around, and there was all this sort of stuff about, yeah, again, accessibility. 1 hour halftime show. Martin says Marco Rose did also manage Dortmund before. Like, no, I know he was a Dortmund manager, but he the last club he was at was Leipzig, right? That was what I was going for. But yes, you're right, he did manage Dortmund as well. Michael says, Kate, it doesn't look like you'll be seeing much of your young family over June and July World Cup if you're covering all the matches in the World Cup at all hours. Oh, I'll still see them, yeah. If I'm getting up at, say, 2 o'clock, think about it. My little girl will be in school a little bit of that time anyway, so I won't see. I'll be waking up as she's coming home. We'll spend all day together, and I'll put her to bed, and then I'll do the first game at about 9, 10 o'clock. And then as she's getting up for school, I'll be going back to bed. So yeah, I'll still see him. Just be on slightly different schedules. Lewis says, how do you see Frank Lampard doing next season in the Premier League with Coventry? Need to see how much they spend. Coventry need to spend big, same as Sunderland did. And yeah, to some extent the same as Burnley and Leeds did. They both spent about 100 million, Burnley and Leeds, and both have been floating around about the relegation zone. Sunderland spent 150 million net, and that difference, that extra 50 million spent well, has got them further up the table. Key, it seems PSG or Villa Super Cup final is on the horizon. PSG v Villa Super Cup, yes. Anything but Villa and Arsenal. Jellyfish says Coventry, unless they invest good, they're going back down to join Spurs. You're adamant Spurs are going down, aren't you? Michael, is a 48-nation national team World Cup for 2026 a one-off, or will it be the norm going forward? Allegedly, it is the norm now. Yeah. Mr. Al-Shamari, what's your next watch-along? Love your channel. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. My next watch-along is tomorrow night. We're live every day. This is what we do. Live football every single day. We watch games together and we chat through them and we watch them, enjoy them, whoever you support. And tomorrow we are watching Hull City against Millwall, which is the Championship Playoff Semi-Final first leg. It's at Stadium MK. Hull just snuck in to the playoffs on the final day last weekend. Massive game for them. Millwall just about missed out on automatic promotion. Millwall did well enough to maybe be automatic promotion to the Prem. Didn't quite get it. So that's going to be a really good game. Can Millwall make it up to the Prem this time? They're probably out of the 4 teams in the playoffs. Hull, Millwall, Middlesbrough, Southampton. You might argue Millwall are best positioned to be a Premier League side next season. They would be the favourites to win the playoffs, I would imagine. Big test tomorrow for them against Hull, though. See you later, 3-star. Can't watch any more TVs getting switched off. No worries, 3-star. Listen, hey, we'll catch you tomorrow, mate. It is what it is. It's a frustrating night. Forest go again next season. Still in the Premier League and still progress. However we dress it up, still progress. What a run, eh? What a run for Forest. Back in Europe for the first time in a long time and painfully close to a Europa final. Dan says, do we know where Glasner's heading next? Again, rumours about Chelsea. Lots of rumours persisting about Chelsea with Glasner. Andy says, Key, I need to phone my new boss and say you need my views during the World Cup. I could give you a temporary mod rights and we'll come up with a job description. And we can say, hey, listen, he's required. We need to second him for mod duty during the World Cup. If Villa win Europa, we'll get 6 Champions League places. If Villa finish 5th, yes. So, yeah, everyone, I think, will be pushing for Villa to finish 5th. And they probably will switch off now, won't they, in the league, Villa? They'll probably get beat by City. They'll probably get beat by Liverpool. Because their focus is now entirely going to be on Istanbul. They're going to be resting players like they did against Spurs. And we saw what happened there, right? Madhouse says, Key, which over-the-top new rule would you bring into the game? Mine would be no keepers. Mine would be rush goalie. Anyone can be a keeper. Palace should do everything to keep Glasner. He's won them their first trophy last season and through to their first European final, says Michael. They've just not. I think if they wanted to do more to keep him, they could have done. But they sold Gay, they sold Eze, they sold Elise. Mateta's going. It's the right time for a change, I think, when the manager's losing all his players like that. Rob says whoever wins Saints and Borough will be the favourites. You don't think Millwall go up? Or do you just not want them to go up? Shahid, how much added time is there, Key? 4 added minutes. We've got 1:40 on the clock. 4 added minutes. Glasner at Chelsea, yes please. With how outspoken he can be, he might be sacked by Chelsea before the Prem starts next season. Do you think the Prem will always get extra Champions League place from now on? It depends, doesn't it? Because it's based on a lot of things. It's based on how all of our teams perform in Europe. Not just in the Champions League, but in Europa League, Conference League. So it'll depend on how Palace do in the Europa League next year. It might depend on how Brentford do in the Champions League next year, or Bournemouth or Brighton. It might depend on how. It depends who finishes in the Conference League place. Maybe it's Fulham. Maybe it's Brighton. Maybe it's Brentford. Maybe it's Bournemouth. One of them get in the Conference League. So I guess we don't know. But yes, there's always a good chance England will get a 5th Champions League spot. I'll be mod during the World Cup. Just write up that contract for me. Will says, what about the manager can challenge a call on VAR? How controversial would that be? Well, they have that in cricket, don't they? They have, like, challenges and calls. Bloody hell, user. What's your thoughts on ladies' football? Would you watch it if you had to? Also, what's your feelings on diversity in football? Will we ever see a player in the Prem in a wheelchair? There's a lot of questions baked in there, and we've only got 60 seconds left. What's your thoughts on ladies' football? We've watched a fair bit of it on the channel. I've no problem with ladies' football at all, but I don't know where I am with it. In the sense of, I don't know who the players are. I don't know who's good, who's bad, which teams are any good. I don't know enough about it, I guess. And that's maybe a shame. That's something for me to improve. But we've watched the Women's European Championships. We watched pretty much all of that last year. We watched the Women's Classico in the Women's Champions League final. I'm planning to watch the Women's FA Cup final. We watched Arsenal-Chelsea in the Women's Champions League a few weeks back. We do watch a fair bit of women's football. When the opportunity arises, yes. So I've no problem with women's football. What's your feelings on diversity in football? It's happened. Yeah, it's been since 2006, the first time first time anyone fielded an entire non-English lineup. So yeah, it's enriched the Premier League in many ways, and it's hurt the Premier League in others. So yeah, no problem with it. And will we ever see a player in the Premier League in a wheelchair? No. I think that would be a different type of Premier League. That's a different. I don't know what the technical term is. If there's a league, there is a league for wheelchair users. In fact, Reece is. I don't know if is it Power League? It's called. Reece is in a league and frequently follows the Power League, right, Reece? If you're still in the chat. So I don't know enough about it. Right, well, there you go. Full-time, Forest, 4-0 losers tonight. 4-0 losers. Villa fly into the Europa League final and will face Freiburg. Very, very entertaining game. John McGinn was sensational. Forest will be really disappointed with how that's finished up. But very, very well done to Aston Villa. Congratulations to them in a European final again. And chasing their first silverware since 1996 when they won the League Cup under Brian Little. So 30 years since Villa won anything, and could they do it this year? We'll see. Congratulations to Villa, says Shahid. What else are we watching? Beast Note, I understand why they aren't in and agree with the decision, but I miss Russian teams in the Champions League. Yeah, CSKA Moscow, Spartak, Rubin Kazan. Get Anzi Makachkala back. I prefer the dance group diversity. It's controversial. Right. Okay. Everyone, thank you so much for all the likes, all the shares, all the comments, all the love, all the chats, and all that good stuff. If you haven't already, make sure you've hit like on your way out. Make sure you've subscribed. I am live tomorrow and every day, but live tomorrow for Millwall away at Hull City. That one promises to be a really, really entertaining game. Hull and Millwall should be a feisty contest as well, because I think there's a bit of there's a bit of residual stuff with Hull and Millwall going back. So we'll have to wait and see, but tomorrow should be a really fascinating night. Hull and Millwall, Championship playoff, first leg, semi-final, 8 o'clock. I'll be live at 7:45. Catch you all tomorrow. Leave a like on the way out. If you've not already followed, make sure you do, and hit the notification bell. Have a nice Thursday night. Ta-da.